What up, what up? Welcome back to another exciting adventure, Cases of Wednesday's live Dungeons & Dragons stream. My name is Dane. I am the Dungeon Master tonight and your host with the most. And I'm going to have each of the players introduce themselves and the character they are portraying tonight, and we will get started from where we left off last week.
I believe that's my cue. I'm Katie. I'm playing Bitch Slap, a half-orc barbarian. I'm on a grand quest to find family, and I might be half a step closer because last time I took a bath and got my hair braided.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Aram. I'm a high elven sorcerer with a draconic bloodline, and I too am searching for some family. Doubt it's the same family as Bitch Slap, but
would it be crazy if it was though?
Bitch Slap is just like a deformed elf.
I'm Balar. I was a druid sent out to try and make money because my little homage got destroyed and died and promised pieces of my soul in order to come back.
I'm Cal. I play Zenevieve. I'm a half-elven assassin rogue. And it's not murder unless I say it's murder.
Hey! Opa! No. Assembly, make an action item that it's not murder unless you say it's murder. Assembly is our AI tool we're using for note-taking, so we'll see how it works. So we
quick
left
notation, I just got a message from Bear. He is on his way.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll have to rearrange everything again. That's perfect.
Well,
such is the way.
At least you know it's coming.
I am so excited for Kelly to get here. So we do have Kelly/Bear coming in, and he does play Labolo Tealstring, a half-elven bard. He's running behind today. I don't know why. He lives off the land, so we'll see. But we left off last week with a couple of mysteries and some unsolved stuff going on, as well as a couple of ideas that we wanted to get done with the church. So we are in the town of Blacktome Keep, and you had went to Terry's trinkets and magical items, and come to find out it wasn't open like he normally opens bright and early, and he wasn't open. And you found out where he lived, and found out that he actually had died to blunt force trauma to the head early that morning or last night, and he was being carried out of his home. You guys broke into his magic shop to retrieve your items, while the police while the guard was collecting his corpse or whatever. You guys broke into his business and stole your items back. And then you also last week had went to the Church of Torm, or the Temple to Torm, where one of your battle companions from fighting the Lich in the dead celestial temple was, and he greeted you. You guys found out you could pay 1,000 gold pieces for a casting of Greater Restoration to bring back either age or memory.
I believe they were going to give us one free one. We were going to have to pay for it after that.
Yes, they did give us one free one. It was to restore my memory.
Everything up to when you went into the fountain. So from fountain to now, you don't have.
Yes, that is correct.
So I think we left off with you being with the party. Like, wait a minute, what happened to the last month or 3 weeks or whatever? It's been a couple weeks probably. Hey, Kelly, thanks for making it.
No problem.
You okay?
Oh yeah, just got paid today, so I had to go pay my bills.
Oh man, you don't just send that via interwebs anymore?
No, I like to be there in person.
You are old as hell. All right, that sounds good. But there's Kelly, as we were talking about. He goes by Bear as well. He's playing Labolo Tealstring. We've already got through the introductions. We know where we left off. We're currently, I believe, outside the Temple of Torm, right? And we
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Just revived Zenevieve's memories of the time prior to and as of right now, moving forward. But she's still a little younger, and Bitch Slap is super younger, but that's all right. So go ahead and take it away, guys. Whatever you'd like to do, we can work from there.
What time of day is it?
Oh gosh, I want to say
Afternoon.
I feel like it was just before because you guys woke up.
It was evening because they said come back after the evening service to have
Right.
it done.
Okay.
So it's evening time.
Yeah, we had a day in there that I thought we did have. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's about to be evening, so you guys can do what you'd like as far as the night cycle of things goes, or you could do whatever. So I can start throwing stuff at you guys, but I have a feeling you guys all have little things you want to handle here still. So
Yeah, I need my my weapons back.
Same.
Feeling a little bit
I
light.
mean, is Bitch Slap and Zenavi okay with looking underaged?
And
I mean, I'm looking at my coin purse. I have this sneaking suspicion your guys' shouldn't be too far from mine. We might be able to pull some together and at least get one more of those restorative castings. Because didn't you say they're 1,000 gold?
they are.
I don't really care what I look like. I'm not too pleased about the lack of adult ogre.
So the
Work.
longer we leave you at 11, the more
There's
likely
going to
you're
be
going to lose.
consequences.
Yes, there are going to be consequences, and I'm going to eventually start waxing your strength.
Hmm.
I've left the ghost vestiges of strength from when you were a full-grown adult badass in there just as muscle memory, but
Yeah,
it's going to be going away. I would say
that's
if
what
it's
I
not,
figured.
let me see. I'll roll this and tell you how many days you got. You have 3 days.
It's not good.
I can pitch in.
I can pitch in. Zenevi's
Okay.
okay with being slightly younger for now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not. You're not affected by it because you didn't lose
Yeah.
adulthood. So gold wise, the party has combined. The party has 2,448 gold.
I think that's a little bit less because Lobolo and I still have to pay up.
I paid mine right from the start.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And I have to pay up.
So bitch slap
That's
says you
right.
have 811 right now.
So it should be less 300.
So 500. So you still have almost enough for 2 with just your gold, but you have enough silver between the party of 2,500, almost 2,600 silver, where you could just steal some silver, and you could get 2 castings of it done if you wanted for bitch slap's memories. Which, I mean, it's just the problem is that her memory slips away. So like if you don't fix it, she could start forgetting more or losing things or missing lengths of time, something like that.
My
could
memory?
Yes. Yours was not as
Okay.
bad as hers. Yours is on a slower decline. You caught the age problem more than the memory,
Sure did.
and hers was the other way around.
But if we
Okay.
fix her age, it'll fix her memory, right?
No, they're separate.
Mm.
Oh.
But you said with everybody's silver, we got enough to get 2 done, right?
If you use all the gold and contribute some silver, yes.
Oh, okay.
But then does Bitch Slap have enough to pay for her weapons?
Well, I'm going to her inventory now to remove the. You said 300.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it says she has 511 on her. That means the party, because I'm looking at the party
Thank
sheet.
you.
I don't think you guys have the same view as I do, but even after I might have to close it and reopen it. It still says that. There you go. 2148. So you have enough for 2 castings as it is. Technically,
If we pitch in everything we got though.
well, there's 148 gold left amongst the whole party, even after 2 castings.
Okay.
So everybody
Pretty
throws all
much.
in and then just distribute that remaining 148 equally back amongst us?
Yeah, I can do that. Just erase everybody's gold and I'll distribute.
Well, hold on. Is everybody okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
You know what? Yeah, it's for a good cause. Gold and silver, completely
Yeah.
gone.
No,
Got it.
just gold. Just gold.
I'm in.
Okay.
If it was anybody other than bitch slap, Genevieve would not be okay with this.
Exactly. If it was Mike, maybe you should have shown up Friday.
Or
I don't know
Dad.
what to tell you.
Yeah. Sorry, you're not connected to the game anymore. You're basically you don't need a memory because you're never here. Let's leave Lord Z's dungeon out of this, Jacob.
Okay. I'll try.
All right. I dispersed the 30 gold to each of you that you now have since you guys waxed your gold to restore. You get two castings, one for Bitch Slap's age. The elven lady comes out again at the end of the mass. Or I'm sorry, the next morning she needed you to come back. She was tired from the first casting. The next morning when you guys come back, she does the first casting on Bitch Slap, who slowly and surely like starts to regain like visible muscle and age, and everything just grows bigger. Everything just starts to expand and stuff, like unfolding almost. And then she gets back to otherwise. And then there is one more spell that, well, there's really two more that need cast, but right now one of them. So you either do Bitch Slap's memory or Genevieve's age.
Bitch slap's memory.
Memory, for sure.
I got a
Okay.
quick question. Does this restore the max hit points, or is that not?
I will, yeah, I think that's fine. I think it'll be
Okay.
a side effect will be that your max hit points will be back. Genevieve, were you down those as well?
I was, but we leveled up, so I don't actually know what my total would be
You
right
should
now.
be 12 down, or at least that's what I was.
So the easiest way to figure, we can look at everybody's really quick just to make sure, but you see the little H on your main page of your character sheets? There's at the very bottom where it says HD and there's a dice right there, a die right there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever shape of that dice is your health dice that you use to when you level up.
Okay.
And the number in there is how many more rolls you have. So like right now, Bitch Slap says 6, but she's level 8. If she had another full rest, it would say 8.
Okay.
But the point is, you take that dice and however many levels of that dice you have, and times it by your level, and then add your Constitution modifier times your level, and that is your hit points.
8 times level.
8 times 8,
Constitution.
64. 3 times 8, 24. So you're at 88.
I will. That's also the map for me. Yay.
But I think maybe you have.
I was already past that.
What were yours? Oh, no,
I
yours
was-
is a D12. Not yours isn't a D8. Yours is a D12. So 12
Okay.
times 8. So that's 20 plus another 24. So 148.
Shit.
Is that right? 12 times.
I-
Is that what 12 times 8 is?
12 times
12
8,
times 8 is 96.
96.
Okay. I can't math out loud without thinking. I have to write it down. 12
So I
times
should be
8.
112.
And then 3 times 8 is 24. So yeah, you're 120.
120.
And everybody else can look at theirs too, though, because I'm just doing max hit points because I am mean. So
And it's a dice plus our dex
plus
times
your
our
con
level
modifier.
plus the con. So
Here.
the dice plus the con times the level.
Yeah. Whatever kind of dice it is times the level. Yep. All right. And so she heals. She casts the spell from a scroll for both of those castings, and it still seems like she's a little stressed by all of it. But after she casts it, she nods to you and says, "Thank you for your contributions to keeping the world safe and ridding it of evil. Though our clerics and our war priests, our cleric and our war priest will be missed. They went about in a way that was in servitude of their Lord, so they are with him now, and all is well. Go in peace. Stay courageous and strong."
Give her a hug.
Oh
A
God.
little hug.
Eleanorus is her name. Cool. Yeah, she takes the hug kind of awkwardly, because now you're like bigger than she is, so she's like 5'6" and you're like 6'8" or something, 6'6" or something. You're pretty tall.
Hmm.
But anyway, so she gives you kind of a meek hug, and she has power that runs through her, but she's pretty slender overall and she's kind of a tiny person. Okay, and that's it. So you guys now you've done some of the things. What's the next step in your guys' plans as far as where you want to be and go and do?
Do we have our weapons back yet?
We have our weapons back yet?
Yeah, from being
Oh, you haven't. I don't think you've picked them up yet. No.
okay.
All my
So
all my things
All
are
right,
messed up.
yeah, let's go get that then. We don't know what we're going to get into, but being armed would probably be our
and
safest
is
venture.
there anything I have to do to change the great sword to a superior great sword or whatever it's called?
Yeah. So okay, so you guys are. Is that the next plan then? You guys head over to the
I'm just tagging along at this point. So
over to Smith and Stall.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So great sword to +1 is what you're doing. Maul. You're just having him strengthen the hilt on the maul, and then silver and +1 the great sword.
The great sword was already silvered,
Oh, just
so just
+1
plus
there.
one it. Yeah.
And then Labolo, you were getting a short sword silvered in masterwork.
Duh. Yes.
So I'm gonna do it on yours, Katie, or I'm gonna at least tell you what to do. So we've got the great sword there. First things first, I'm gonna write silver here
Okay.
so that we know it. And then you see where it says 2d6 +4, comma slashing, and then it's comma silver.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's supposed to say. And then I opened it. I opened the magnifying glass. There's a bonus box there. I'm putting a 1 there, and I'm putting a 1 there. You see those?
1 and 1. Yep.
I did that. I put a 1 in the bonus between base and proficiency star, and I put a 1 in the bonus next to the type of damage it is, because that you get a +1 now to hit, and because it's a +1 item, I'm also going to add the magic subtype of damage to it.
Cool.
I run off masterwork items being not necessarily magic, but masterwork enough to do the damage. I think or they are magic. I don't know. However, you need to look at it to make it make sense for your world. It's totally fine. But yeah. So and then Kelly, did you were able to follow that, or do you need to do it?
Yeah. If I thought you were just doing hers. What?
Oh,
Yeah, I
so,
need you to help me with that.
okay. I'm just gonna do it on here for you. Silver short sword. So 1d6 +3. So now you get a bonus of 1 and 1. It is silver, and it is magic.
Do you recall if that's the sword I picked up off the Death Knight, or is that a different sword?
Great question. The sword you picked off off the Death Knight is a long sword, and I don't think I put it on there yet. Let me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do remember it. I remember you talked about it to me the other time. I was like, "What are you talking about?" But then I remembered it like off screen. I was like, "Oh yeah, he did get a long sword."
Man.
There you go. I got the long sword in your is carried on your in your equipment now.
Okay.
So you guys pick up your items. Did you already pay?
I already paid.
Okay. Cool. Then all right. So then he's good with it once you guys have paid. His name again is Rhubar. His wife is Bellens. Bellens runs the stables, and then Rhubar is the gnome that runs the armory there. He manages to get your guys' weapons to you. You guys are good. I think that ties up all like loose ends as far as like purchases and getting stuff back, and then also casting spells. Does that sound right?
So
We just lost Cal in Fantasy Grounds at least.
My internet's being awful.
That's all right. We're here for you. Okay. So what? I know you guys had talked about going and trying to figure out who killed Terry. Was there any more on that front you guys want to discuss currently, or do you have a plan you want to discuss? I'll sit back and let you guys figure it out.
I think the game plan after that was to go see
The wife.
Terry's wife.
See what she has to say about the whole thing and go from there.
Okay. Is that everybody's heading there, or is anybody else doing anything else?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm headed over there. Terry's home.
All right. It takes a couple minutes to get over there. You guys get over there, and the scene is clear. So the guards are no longer there. The mortician or whoever it was that's taking the body away is not there. But you guys get there, and her door's locked or shut as of currently. But you guys walk up to it, and then who's doing what, when, and how? You guys get to the door. Everything looks normal.
Knock on the door.
A couple minutes go by. You don't necessarily know if she's there or not, but you hear something shuffling around inside. Someone is inside, but you don't know who. You can't see inside.
Knock a little louder.
Okay,
Yeah, knock a little louder.
Another minute goes by, and a relatively older lady opens the door. No, hello, travelers. Is there something you need? Look, she's looking around. Seems kind of confused.
Yes,
Hello.
we were.
Go ahead.
We were
Fight.
acquaintances of Terry's. And we were actually, had business with him, and
Does he owe you money?
no, not necessarily money, but we trying to find out if there was foul play involved. We were concerned for Terry. Let's put it that way. And we want to make sure that everything's, on the up and up.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate that.
They say it was an accident, but we don't necessarily believe that.
We'll be happy to know that he just fell and busted his head on the end table. I saw the whole thing.
I'm gonna use my awakened mind since Aram's talking to this lady and be like, you didn't introduce yourself and we don't know who she is. Subconsciously in his brain.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah. Can we go with the intuition check to see if how we feel about her presentation of what she's telling us?
We were told that Terry had a wife. I'm assuming that's you. Is this correct?
It is. She looks older than you were told. She's around in her early 40s, but she looks like she's pushing mid 50s. She's got a lot of gray hair, a lot of wrinkles, very sun-kissed, wrinkles from the sun. Her name is Insilfa. She's originally from Morzanth, which is another country across the sea some ways. They're kind of an interesting company, kind of a hodgepodge of races and people go there to essentially get away from places that are a little more xenophobic. Like Yendel is very xenophobic in the favor of elves and not others, and Korsoth is very xenophobic against all but dwarves, at least in their main cities.
Is there anybody else that's going to be taking up Terry's shop?
That's a pretty good question. I am much more comfortable outside. I'm not much of a shopkeeper, never have been. And as she's saying that, she kind of motions to the side of the house where you see she's got a pretty nice outside home flower garden around the edges of her domicile. She's I don't have much interest in running a shop. I'm afraid my knowledge of trinkets and magical items is nowhere near that of which Terry spent his lifetime getting good at. If you know anyone that would be interested in potentially buying the property or taking over the storefront or either or, I would consider selling. I would really prefer someone take over his shop that knows what they're doing, just because it was his life and his dream, and I'd hate to see it go away, over a silly thing such as death.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm an adventurer, so I have some traveling I need to do, but taking over the shop, if we could find somebody to man it, wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not my specialty. Terry handled
Yeah.
most of the business in the household. Now, if you needed, flowers for a wedding, or if you needed anything to do with horticulture, I'm well versed in nature and the way she both loves and hates her people.
Okay. Well, any of you guys have any questions or comments or concerns we want to add to this conversation?
Or in Silpha, the 40-something-year-old widow.
Your flower garden is very pretty.
Ah, thank you. I love your braids. And she scoops a really nice tulip up and slips it behind your ear.
What's happening?
What is happening? Bitch Slap is getting fawned over. Look, to be fair, Bitch Slap looks the best she's ever looked. And she's clean. Her hair's been not only de-tasseled and tangled, she doesn't have dreads at this point. She's got her hair braided in, wasn't it cornrows we ended up going with?
I don't know if it was cornrows, but
It
braided
was.
for sure.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely
It definitely
cornrows.
was.
All right.
Katie's backpack, she's like, I don't think I had cornrows. Oh no, you did. Okay, very cool. So, is there anything else I can do for you, lot? I mean, if you have any suggestions of someone who might like to buy the shop front, I would entertain that. Soon, obviously he just died recently, so I'm not in the best state of mind as far as conducting business goes. I haven't even had a ceremony to put him to rest yet, but here after a proper amount of grieving, I'm sure I would entertain offers and maybe be looking to do something with it, as I can't afford the tax on the place and maintaining it as well as the home.
All right. Yeah. No. I say we let her be for now, and we'll be on our way. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that sounds really good. Well, thank you for your concern and checking in. Please, check back, and maybe if you do find somebody, let me know. I'm sure I could come up with a finder fee if the offer on the place was enough to move it. She kind of bows backward and says, "Be well, travelers. Be safe out there. It's a wild world we live in." And she shuts the door on you guys.
I quietly say, our condolences. Oh.
Too little, too late.
Did you allow an insight roll to see if everything was on the up and up with what she said?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah, you can throw it out there. I think I might have heard you and just continued pounding forward, but yeah, please do.
9.
Seems real.
20. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Lobolos is enough. Lobolo, you can tell she is a little distraught by it. She's not like a completely lost cause. She's not a huge mess. It'd be hard to believe that she was married to him that long, and because for many years it was the idea that married for more than 10 plus years, maybe even closer to 20 plus. You don't know the exact number, but she was upset, but not just destroyed. You know what I mean?
She has the understanding of an older person that people move on.
Yeah, sure, maybe. You didn't sense that she killed him. Like, you didn't get a sense that she was trying to hide something in that regard. With that 21, Kelly, there she seems to be on the up and up in that regard. And she is somewhat distraught, but she also maybe has no interest in the business. And it's just, she wants to you can tell she wants to get rid of it for real.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll perception checks for me too, since we're here. We might as well see if anybody pulls anything else out before we move forward.
15.
23.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Aram,
Oh, 21.
You notice as she's shutting the door, the inside of this property where she lives is not anywhere as near neat and like straight laced as her flower garden looks. Like her flower garden is immaculate, but inside it looks like there's maybe pathways through items. She's a hoarder inside. Um, it's a tight quarters and just things and stuff just all over, stacked from floor to ceiling. And you're not sure how she got the door open and got to the door. It wasn't super apparent because she did try to like slip out more so than throw the door wide and say, "Look at all my stuff." But you did get a quick glance in while they were talking, and you noticed that it was quite packed.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'd rather not stand here on the front steps to the house, but I don't know, maybe suggest to the group that we reconvene at the inn, or
I think I'm gonna take a walk around the neighborhood and just kind of look and see if anything seems weird. See if I overhear a conversation about him.
Yeah, looks like the inn's right around the corner.
It is.
So, yeah, I'm gonna. That'll be my suggestion. I don't know. Let everybody want to reconvene at the No Man's Inn, and let's discuss our next steps as to what we're doing, while Millar does his trot around the neighborhood.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm gonna go wherever Aram goes because I'm gonna have him fill me in on what happened. Well, in the last period of time, because I love bitch slap, but Aram's the most reliable narrator.
True.
Katie, I'm giving you inspiration for just saying yeah to that. Just so we're all on the same page. She just got an inspiration point for saying yeah to not being a good commentator. From bitch, I don't know why. I got to kick it. Okay. So you guys all head kind of towards the No Man's Inn to get which is where you woke up. It's where you guys kind of made your home here. Except for Balar, who wanders around the hill to try and figure out if he hears anything from the population. And the hill isn't super busy. It's a residential area. There are no businesses in the hill. The rain is not as hard as it's been. It is often quite rainy here, but today it's more of a drizzle than a downpour.
I'm just gonna kind of walk through the neighborhood, see if I overhear anybody talking about what happened. Eventually, I'd like to kind of circle back around to the house, maybe behind the house if there's like an alley or something, and just generally look for things out of place as I pass through. I'm not gonna like stop and look, but kind of like a passive look as I'm moving through.
Are you doing it stealthily? Or are you doing it inconspicuously? Or are you doing it?
I'm just passing through, just another guy.
So inconspicuously. So I think that's deception, because if you're trying to check stuff out, I think you're deceiving. It's deception first, and I'll throw a perception at you as well. So not only do you have to do it casually, but you have to actually notice things.
Okay.
Unless you prefer investigation, which you could argue a case for.
Well, that would have been nice to know before I rolled, but I think.
Well, no, deception staying. I'm saying between perception and investigation.
Between perception and investigation, I'll definitely take investigation. So 14 deception, 15 investigation.
Okay, I mean, you look relatively casual strolling around the neighborhood. I mean, you're kind of a little bit out of place considering you don't live there, but no one necessarily cares. And you wander around, and you don't really see anything of crazy note around, in Silpha's home, or even in the neighborhood. The neighborhood itself is, I mean, it's a mid-crime area. It's a lower middle class residential zone, and it's honestly of the of the hill, because there's a few different sections that are considered in the hill. Basically, everything east of it, out and out from where the H is, straight. So like
Okay.
all of this is basically the hill. But
Okay.
where you guys are is probably the nicest part of the hill.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I don't see anything, that's perfectly fine and dandy. I'll go meet up with the rest of them at the inn.
Okay. You guys go into the inn, and as has been discussed before, No Man's Inn is the nicest inn in Blacktome Keep. There are 3 dwarves sitting at a bar top table, feet dangling off the ground even, which is different for them. But the rest of the place is filled with different workers. It looks like a handful of lumberjacks have come into town and have taken up residence this morning at No Man's Inn as they're passing through town. So the place is actually relatively full. There is a table that the 5 of you were able to secure and sit at. That's who'd have thunk in a corner that just so happens the torch is out, and you guys are sitting in a darkened corner in the popular inn. It is about 11 a.m.
All right, so I'll start by well, I guess Genevieve, let's get you and Bitch Slap updated. I mean, Bitch Slap wasn't really having a whole lot of memory issues, but yeah, while we were fighting the Lich, you actually discovered a fountain that healed us.
Okay.
You 2 used it. You used it twice, actually.
Good for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys ended up coming back out younger in age and apparently having memory issues.
Fantastic. So I'm youthful again.
Well, you were until we get. Well, you still
No,
are.
I still am.
She's still
you
youthful.
still are. Yeah. That is the one thing that we weren't able to get fixed for you, but we managed to obviously bring both of your memories up to par and Bitch Slap's age.
Hey, look,
We're not-
I'm okay with having a couple extra years on my lifespan.
Yeah, well, we're not quite sure the repercussions for leaving you this way.
Don't ruin the moment.
And
Her crow's feet are just a little bit better.
just for reference, you're currently holding on to a poster in your pocket and or bags.
Oh, what, a poster? This poster? And she pulls it out.
Yeah, and I scramble to put my hands on the table. Yeah. Why don't you just put that back? You know.
Is that us?
I'm
That
saying
doesn't
it's
look like
not,
me.
but
I'm pretty.
I'm pretty.
And-
if I remember
and-
correctly, I think your eyes were wider, your forehead longer, and like you were thicker for Aram anyway. And then and Bitch Slap, I can't remember what happened to you, but
Zenvi looks at Bitch Slap and goes, "You're not pretty. You're beautiful."
Oh, thank you, friend.
Anything.
That apparently was repercussions, I'm guessing, from the last job in
Summerside.
Summerside, yes.
Okay. She folds it and puts it back into her pocket.
So
I put both elbows on the table and my hands in my face very understandingly and say, "Do you guys want to talk about this?"
No, not really, Lobolo. We'd rather just keep it right where it's at, in her pocket.
Whoa. No, what? Oh, wait. Is this the right place to talk about it, or should we talk about it elsewhere?
I don't think we're going to talk about it at all unless we absolutely 100% have to.
Well, we could make money. You see, I'm really good at disguises, and both Balar and myself can change into small creatures. So one of us dresses up as Bitch Slap. Okay. One of us dresses up as you, get caught, turn into animal after the money is collected, and fly away.
And I'm just going to put my fingers to my forehead just like this, and I'm going to shake my head, and I'm going to go, we're in a room full of people. We have no clue who they are. Can we please not talk about this here?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Just kidding, everybody.
Hey, we're playing a game over here. It's called Lizards and Fighting. Don't worry, it's not real.
And I mean, Valar currently has a body we need to take back to Summerside in his bag, and
But you're okay with saying that in the bar?
I know. I was all like, "Oh, don't worry about that."
Well, don't worry about the bloated corpse with half its body gnawed off in the backpack.
And Zenevieve looks at Aram for a second and is like, now that I remember this correctly, do we have any pieces of that lich left? We need earrings for you.
We managed to take out what we believe was 2 of the 3 phylacteries.
Phylacteries. Good job, Mike. Inspiration for getting the word right for the first time out of 6 times.
Right.
I got
Speaking of jewelry, am I back for this part of the conversation?
Yeah, you walk in right as she says jewelry. Earrings for you.
I do still have a troll canine tooth, and I want to sit and kind of like work out pieces of my rope and try to turn it into a necklace while we're sitting there talking about things.
Genevieve also takes the opportunity now to go, wait, where's my knife?
Unfortunately,
she does not remember giving it up.
Unfortunately, we're pretty sure that was one of the lich's phylacteries.
Okay. Where'd it go?
We knew for sure that it was evil. We just didn't know what kind of evil, so we played it safe. And
it was destroyed.
I gave you a really, really cool unused iron dagger in replacement of it, though.
Genevieve immediately is like, someone please get me an ale.
She's finally old enough. Oh, wait, this slap was the problem. Jacob, there's a text in the box for their dex check for your make your rope string. Shouldn't be too hard.
Ooh. Oh man, I thought it was a 20.
You managed to knot it up instead of unraveling it.
Can I help him?
Yeah.
But I want to do it.
I made this cool rat bracelet, so.
You did make that cool rat bracelet. Now, luckily, it was just a tail with a knot in it.
True.
So essentially, we do need to. We probably will be dealing with a lich again. He just won't be as powerful as he could have been. And then,
hold on, Aram. There's more important things going on here. And I want to shove the rope and the tooth in front of Genevieve and be like, can you please tie this into a necklace?
So my favorite thing is Valar's like, I'm going to untangle this rope. He starts doing this and like ends up making kind of a mess. And Bitch Slap's like, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. She slams her blade down on it and it splits in half. And you're like, shit, now it's not good for anything. And then you hand it all to her.
Genevieve looks at, do I just roll dex to see what I can do?
Check. It's not even all that big a deal. I was like, it shouldn't be that hard. You just need like a 10. He's like, here's a 5. Here's a 7. You turds.
Right.
Yeah! It's way too frayed to fix at this point. Let's spend the rest of the night trying to make a bracelet.
Wait. See, you said there's 2 pieces now?
Yes.
Okay, so is it 2 pieces of tooth or 2 pieces of rope?
Rope.
He hasn't even gotten the teeth involved yet. He was just trying to untangle the rope.
He was trying to make string and just couldn't get it figured out.
All right, I give it a try. See if I can make something nice for him.
You edge yourself in there. You're an edgelord.
There we go.
Finally.
I'm not master.
What Lobolo doesn't tell you is he had a ball of string in his pocket. And he's like, let me do it. He takes it, he balls it all up, rubs it together, shakes it a little bit, goes like this behind him, reaches in his pocket back here, pulls the string out, says, "You're welcome."
Ta-da!
Thanks, buddy. And I'm gonna go back to work
Genevieve's like, that was amazing.
The sad part is it's a different color, but no one noticed.
What color is it?
Carrot is
It's
blue.
blue.
What? It's
Wow.
blue.
Very nice.
It matches your eyes, Balar. I don't know. I don't actually know. She just says that to be a bitch.
I was gonna say Balar's black and white. I can tell by his caricature next to Jake over there.
Facts.
All right, so we're doing great. So far, this is the most exciting adventure of Dungeons and Dragons we've ever had. You guys are in No Man's Inn. You now have a string necklace with a tooth with a board hole in it that you're using. There's a tooth with a cavity anyway, so there's already a hole you punch through the rotted part.
Perfect.
I'm just making life easy.
And equipped.
And equipped. -1 to good looks and smell.
Genevieve starts looking through her stuff and she pulls out the dragon skull and she's like, oh, wait, when did I get this?
Do you have a bag of holding?
No, it's just
If
I
you have
took
the,
the
if you
dragon
have the
skull.
dragon skull on you, you have like it's like 2 cow heads.
I say she doesn't.
Tied to the
It's
top of
in
your
my
bag.
bag.
Oh, it's in your
My
bag.
bag.
I thought I had taken it. Never mind.
I didn't think
That
you
doesn't
had
happen.
it. I was like,
I think you did have it for a brief point, but then we put it back in the bag.
Okay, that makes sense then.
It's okay. You get like a week's worth of it's okay you don't remembers, and then after that we
Yeah.
expect to start remembering.
Is that game time or actual play time?
Oh, she's got till next week to figure it out.
Gotcha.
Remember what I do and don't remember what I do and don't have.
Wait, what's my name?
Okay.
Who am I playing?
All right.
What class is this?
While I'm thinking about it, and we're dealing with items in our bags. Anybody want a belt of flying?
Me.
Oh, you're talking about the Mary Poppins one?
Just
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
All right.
Me in the ass. I fly up, and a flaming bear comes hurtling down to the sky.
Is
A
that
fire-breathing bear.
Is that dragon's breath in bear form and then falling?
Mm-hmm.
Good. You want a rock, paper, scissors roll for it?
I can't think of another way to describe death from above.
The only problem
Maybe
with
an
that
actual dragon, but
the only problem with that theory is it's a Mary Poppins belt, which means that bear's going to have to be holding an umbrella.
have you never been to the circus? I've seen this shit. And I'm not talking about going up as a bear. I'll go up as me and then shift to the bear and drop.
Yeah, the umbrella will float down after him after he crushes and burns everything to a bit.
That being said, that would be great for cinematic purposes, but Lobolo does use a bow regularly, so go ahead and give it to him.
He's not going to be able to use a bow while he's hanging onto an umbrella, though.
Right.
I just like to travel and do stuff.
Could I launch a dagger at someone while holding onto an umbrella?
You could throw a dagger. Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Or use a hand crossbow once I get one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to reload.
Nope, I ignore reloading.
Yeah, she's a crossbow expert. She can do it one-handed.
Oh, I thought
Her
she
eyes
used her toes.
She can do it one-handed with her eyes behind her back.
I actually do use my toes. I am a monkey.
Jacob, Shenanigans thinks you deserve inspiration for your circus comment, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it at you. She didn't say as much, but I know that's what she meant. Thank you for subscribing as well, Shenanigans. Always a pleasure to have you. You're an absolute delight, and we appreciate you. She did just resubscribe, so that means that somebody this game gets a crit of Shenanigans' choice. So, or Shenanigan, you could do a crit for someone, or you could do a fumble for someone if you're feeling particularly pushy tonight and you want to make somebody suffer. All right, so here we are in the inn. You guys spend, it sounds like an hour and a half farting around, discussing, maybe having a little food that's included with your stay at the inn. You make a necklace. You talk about things. What's the next step? What are we planning here?
Lobolo party sheet. You can pull that belt of flying out for you. Remember, the magical words is hold on, let me check.
Supercalifragilistic. No, it's espialidocious.
Califragilistic.
Mike, I think you're in trouble. I think Shenanigans might fumble you later. Awesome. So
We'll
okay.
see.
So what's the next step then? So I mean, I know I have a couple things in my back pocket, but I'm letting you guys do what you want right now until we're not there anymore.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty positive that something funny's going on with Terry's demise.
Why do you say that?
Just something doesn't seem right for somebody who just fell off and hit his head to have a big gaping hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one thing to fall over out of bed, bump your head, and have a knot, or even if it was a sharp corner, leave a divot, and bleed out. But to have a big hole the way it was described in his head sounds a
Yeah, I
little
mean,
much.
it was a
Mike's
poor
logic
glance.
is on point. We're talking about a guy who dealt with unknown magical items every single day. You think he'd be a little more careful in his
Didn't he say something when we were talking to him about starting something new, and he seemed kind of nervous about it?
I vaguely recall that.
He may have. Yeah, he did have some new things. He has a couple of new ventures he's into. But as Mike said, I mean, or Aram said, I'm not sure which one of you guys said it, but he does on a regular deal with magical items. He did have a gaping ass hole in his head, and he's been a pretty reliable source for you guys overall. I mean, you haven't used him a ton, but
yeah.
And I like the idea that maybe a magic item backfired or did something. I think that's a good thought. Whether that's true or not, I still think that's a good line.
But I mean, if we pursue the Terry thing now, it would be a good thing because we're fresh on the trail. But we do have a Summerside trip that we're supposed to be on to drop off that body. So I mean, I don't know if you guys want to go get rid of the body first so we can get that job off of our slate, or if we want to pick up this new one now.
Hey, Zenevieve.
Yeah.
Before we decide to leave town, do you have any contacts here in Plateau, maybe that might have heard a whisper if anything had happened to Terry?
I could talk to my old friend Franz.
Now that you remember.
I mean, if we're
I have him as a note
if
now.
we're trying to look under stones, that might not be a bad place to look. Just because if we leave and the trail goes cold, it's just gonna be that much harder if something did happen. So if we're covering bases, kind of like what I did walking around the neighborhood, listening to the belly of the city, so to speak, might produce something if there's something to produce.
Or check this out. Instead of working harder, we work smarter. I can talk to the dead. We find his corpse. I place my hand on him, speak to him. I get 5 questions, and easy cheesy. Get it straight from the horse's mouth.
How many polymorphs do you get before you have to take a nap?
2.
Polymorph in, polymorph out. Spider Bros for life. I'll come with.
And
we just gotta figure out where they're keeping his body.
Yeah, I want to see that show.
And potentially, if worse comes to worse, I can sneak into the house and take one of you polymorphed with me. Preferably the one who has passed without a trace.
But hold on now. I'm not a polymorph. I'm a wild shape. There's a difference.
You
like cousins
I'm sorry.
From different states.
I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies.
Don't talk about Arkansas that way.
Okay.
Or is it Alabama? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm open to any of those plans.
All right. So
getting closer to lunchtime, and the already filled location is getting even more full. You notice that the wait staff, the lady who's the bar's maid that's been serving your table, you guys haven't really been getting any drinks or food lately. You've had empty or half empty cups and empty plates now for probably 20 minutes. And I don't know, you get the sense that she keeps eyeing your table as the foyer log or fills up.
I'll summon her over.
Hey, yo, bitch. More beer.
She comes over and for all intents and purposes, you think she's a human. She don't have pointy ears or almond-shaped eyes or anything like that. But she comes over. She's fair complected, little robust around the hips and the top, but pretty nice looking lady. Very friendly. She comes over, says, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
Look, I know we've taken up your space and we haven't ordered anything. I'm
In
gonna
a while,
drop.
but you guys
Yes,
got food earlier from your stay.
I'll drop 20 silver on the table and say this is a tip for letting us sit here this time and not rushing us off. We appreciate it.
You can see the red blushingness come up from like her toes and like all of the skin that is showing, like a little bit of her waist, her arms, her neck, and like upper like area right here in her face. As you see it kind of like turn from pale white as she gets redder and redder and blushes, and not necessarily embarrassment, but like maybe sincere gratitude at the $20 silver, and she scoops it off and says, "No, thank you so much, Lord Elf. Thank you so much. Please, no bother at all. I really appreciate your patronage." And she seems total new leaf. No even half side eyes. No nothing. Um, super happy to serve. And anything I can get for you, you let me know.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Funny how
Refills
20
would be
silver just
great.
seems better than 2 gold.
When she mentions anything she can get for us, it'd be like refills all around. It'd be great, and I'll pay for those and flip her an extra 2 gold as a tip as well.
She trips like on the way. She trips and like she gets the gold and she like kind of gathers some of the dishes and stuff up and then trying to carry them away, and she kind of stumbles, doesn't fall, but she seems like extra excited. You may have just paid her month's rent. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. Where she lives. But she comes back with a full round of drinks and a bag of bread, like a basket full of some chopped up bread and butter in it.
Nice. All
Puts
right,
down and
so
goes,
I actually really like Labolo's idea. Labolo can actually, if Labolo can actually talk to the dead, I say we see if we can figure out where Terry's body is, which shouldn't be too hard. We just find somebody who can, and we'll just tell them that we want to pay our respects.
Ooh, there you
We
go.
may not necessarily need to sneak in anywhere.
If we do, I still remember how to run past without a trace, so I could get some of us in.
Well, I think the more important one is just getting Labolo in there.
Yeah, and him and I could, shape or morph into something small and probably sneak in easy enough, no issues.
Because, I mean, we're not from this town. We don't know their practices. So, for all we know, Terry could be sitting out back of the taxidermy guy's place waiting for him to build him a coffin.
True.
He's my dad. I can see him whenever I want.
So let's do that while we're while it's fresh, and get information from Terry and find out if this actually was foul play or not, and then we can pursue our goals from there.
Okay.
Just keep in mind that you are still holding on to a body we need to return to Summerside that I would rather get done sooner than later.
I mean, sooner or later, the body's not going to get any worse where it's at.
I know, but the princess is waiting.
And it is time sensitive. Yeah.
I love that
she wasn't a princess; she was a duchess, wasn't she?
Yeah,
well,
she's essentially
like
she's a trade princess,
like
essentially.
Royalty, but without any power.
Lots of money, so definitely has some power in there somewhere.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Power is in riches, not in her title.
Okay, well, let's figure out where he's keeping his body. Do we have any idea where bodies go in this town?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, let's just go with history. I think Aram, you can roll with advantage because you've been here the longest.
Okay. With advantage.
Woo! Oh, dang.
14 for me.
Oof. Even with advantage, I only pulled an 8.
Lobolo, you actually know it fine. The 8, you just haven't seen it. It is on the outskirts of town. I actually did drop a note pin on it. It is on the northeasternly edge of town there. It's a crooked little building.
Morty's.
Oh, there you go. Morty's Mortuary. Good point. It is a large building on the outskirts of town. Morty is known to be a silver dragonborn scholar, and he's running his family's business. So it's a place that he basically has inherited that he may or may not be happy having.
So, what's specific about being a silver dragon scholar?
He's a silver dragonborn. That's his race.
Oh, it's his race. Okay.
Yeah. He's more dragon than I am.
Ah.
Okay, well, let's head over there and see if we can pay our respects.
Okay. All of you? Everybody's going?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that. All right, you guys all file out of there and head over to Morty's. It's not a long walk. You guys get there in just a few minutes. And the place is pretty plain. It has what appear to be like metal has like metal siding and a metal roof. On the front of it is a sign above the door that appears to be some kind of coffin on top of a funeral pyre. And the door is right there. You can just head in.
All right, we go inside.
I don't see. Here's a copper dragonborn. I don't see any silver one. I was going to show you guys pictures, but apparently I don't have a silver one to show you.
Well, you can put one up. Just say, take this guy and think he's silver instead of whatever color he is.
I mean, this one's copper.
Ooh.
Just silverish instead of orangish.
Well, they have different. The problem is they have different horn structures on their faces too. Like here's a Ravenite one. That's just a little more like it.
Cool.
Anyway, so you guys get in there and you see Morty behind. He's in there, and there's coffins throughout, about 10 of them interspersed throughout in the front part of the room. Only half of the building is visible when you come in. The other half is behind a wall with a door. But he is currently carving a coffin top. Like he's working on engraving into a coffin top, it looks like.
I'll say, excuse me, Morty?
He's about 5'6", silver, wearing a gray robe with a gray belt around it. He has a pouch on his side. And when you say "excuse me," he finishes his etching and slowly turns. He appears to be middle-aged, as far as you can tell. It's hard because he's dragonborn. But he turns and he looks at you. He says, "None of you appear to be dead. May I help you?"
I speak up. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I speak up, Emil. Are you Morty?
I am. And you are?
Oh, hi, Morty. My name is Lobolo. This is my friend Aram. Also my friend Bitchslap. Also my friend Balar. And also my friend Cal. Terry was a good friend of ours, and we are under suspicion that he may have been passed away under foul play. I would like to cast Speak to the Dead to ensure that he did not die, to make sure nobody killed him. It's been a big mystery. I would either like to solve it or move forward.
And you're from where, Mr. Lobolo?
We're travelers. We often stop into Black Tomb to trade and stuff, but we spend most of our time on quests.
An interesting life, I'm sure. Probably much better than what I deal with here, taking over my parents' shop. The bastards. Mm-hmm. As much as I have interest in you speaking to the dead in front of me, for I'm fascinated with the idea, I'm afraid I can't allow it. The local magistrate would have my head. And as much as I think he's an ass, don't say that out loud outside of here, I'm not one to cause up a ruckus over a dead body. I mean, people die all the time in this town. This is the third one with a hole in his head this week.
Really? Oh my. Well then, are you saying...
Morty,
Everybody's oh shit, what? That's what I got.
Mo-
All of you
Mo-
started like looking at each other and talking.
well, Morty, the thing is nobody needs to know that we were here. Nobody needs to know that you led us near the body to perform this ritual. I mean,
I can tell by your cheeks that you've got dragon ancestors, and I can tell by your speech that they were gold, because you definitely are a schemer. And I promise you that I would know.
Well, that's...
Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you and I go in back and look at coffins. I've already died twice. What's to say it's not going to happen a third time? And my great old one isn't going to let me come back this time.
He leans against the coffin too heavily, and it falls off its stand and breaks in half on the floor, shattering into like 3 pieces. He says, "Oh, son of a bitch! You died twice?"
Twice.
Like you get the impression that he's fascinated with the fact that you died twice. Doesn't even care that he just knocked over a rather expensive looking coffin and broke it into a few pieces. So tell he leans against the thing that the what are they called, the legs that the coffin was sitting on, the sawhorses that the coffin was sitting on. He leans against one of those and he sits back and he pulls a pad of paper out and a quill from his other pocket and he says, "Tell me about that. Tell me about your experience."
So I'm gonna kind of position myself next to him and put an arm over his shoulder and be like, I would love to tell you all about it, and just slowly start guiding him towards the door as I begin to tell my story, like getting him out of the room as I begin to tell the story of from the very beginning, like everything.
What happened on a Thursday, 7.5
to create
years ago?
as much time as possible with him out of the room, as I tell him the story leading up to and explaining how I died, what I experienced, the whole shebang.
Okay.
Can we see a coffin that may be holding Harry?
So the 10 coffins in here are all show coffins. There are no bodies in them. Your best guess would be that they're through the door that Balar is trying to lead him to. And by the way, which he's not about to go through with. He's not about to take you to the back. But he will. I will let you roll a persuasion check to recant it. And then, are you gonna go into any? Yes, I do have a lot of trouble in even believing that you could have died twice. Like, I mean, how are you even brought back? What? I'm very confused here. Wait, did you need to buy a coffin? He looks specifically at Labolo. Were you in need of a coffin?
Well, he dies a lot. It would be better to have one bought and paid for ahead of time.
Oh, you don't know how many times my father would say that, and people would not listen. The cost of a funeral and the cost of the goods that a funeral needs is astronomical, and it can really put a family through the works in the event of an unexpected death. So buying ahead is not only cheaper, as I can cut you a hell of a deal, but it's also just the smart move.
I believe you. Yeah.
When he asked, how do you come back? I'd like to use my awakened mind to put into his head just the sentence, "The great old one had use of me."
Fascinating. I've not heard of this old one. Now, listen, I close up. I'll probably close shop at dusk today, unless there's any more, random deaths I need to put anybody on ice with. But would you want to maybe grab some tea and sit and tell me more about this? I am interested in your experience. If you truly have died twice, and he looks at the rest of you, looks back at Labolo. He died twice. You said it too. I'm inclined to believe.
Zenevieve pipes up. He's like, he's not the only one who's died.
What do you?
Actually, there's at least 3 of us that have gone through that.
We've all died at a couple of us have died at least once.
3 of us have legitimately died. Two of us were brought back magic. I'm the only one who, fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you look at it, was brought back by means of a greater being for some form of indebted service.
We're starving. we're starving. Is there a chance you guys could all gather around dinner time and we'll get a table and you guys can talk about all of this?
Yeah.
Well, I'm inclined to
I'm
say yes, but I have a rather odd request, in fact. Um, Considering I'm around a lot of previously dead individuals who are no longer dead, I'd like to know more about that, but I may also like to experience it firsthand. And I don't feel like carrying on my family business here will get me to that extent. So um, I think I'm going to put it up for sale, but only if you will agree to take me with you on your next adventure.
okay. Well, before you travel in that, would you like to see what it's like being dead first? So that way you don't travel in there and experience something truly horrific. It could be beautiful, it could not be, but I've never asked a dead person what it's like.
Are
Here's
you?
our chance.
Are you? Wait, are you offering to kill me?
No, I'm offering to talk to a dead person who's already dead. You
And
know, and
how would you do that?
Well, he gets 5 questions, and we're willing to use one of them to ask him what it's like to be dead, so you can know.
Wait, so
yeah,
you get 5 questions with any dead person?
I have to be able to touch them.
Is that the only like stipulation?
Yeah, as I put my hand on him, I pray for several minutes. I pray, concentrate, and then
there is an alternative to that. I have a natural magic which allows me to bring somebody back as long as it hasn't been more than a minute since they've died. If you wanted to experience it yourself, we could arrange that as well. However, we would like to speak with Terry.
So you will take me with you, or you won't?
Totally.
I mean, if you go through the whole ordeal and want to come with, or you don't want to go through the ordeal and still want to come with, I don't see any reason, as long as you understand we're not liable for you monetarily.
And I gotta.
I just want to make that clear. Like, you know, if you wanted to come with, I don't know about them. I can't speak for the whole group. I don't have a problem with it.
Honestly, if you would, I would love to go to Summerside. I heard there's a new center of learning, like almost done with construction. They've already taken on some students, and I was kind of hoping to go that direction. Maybe check in there as well. But I do need to find someone to take over the family business, so I have enough funds to be set up for the rest of my studies.
Let me put this out there for you, Morty. You don't believe the things that we're saying, which it's understandable.
I don't not believe, but I don't believe either. I'm somewhere in between.
I understand, but if you would allow Lobolo to cast his spell and talk to Terry, like we discussed, the half elf, this should be proof that we aren't lying to you. And that would clearly show you that we mean what we're saying, and that if you really wanted to experience it, we could help you experience it.
I have to apologize. I'm all over the place. I'm fascinated with death. I just never thought I'd be the one, overseeing a mortuary. That was my parents' thing, and I was fascinated from an early age, but I'm more fascinated with learning in general. But the idea of dying and experiencing it and coming back does sound interesting as well. He's almost talking to himself at this point. Like he's like working out all his options, because he's thrown a couple things at you. Like it's like, take me with you, murder me now, bring this guy back from the dead, talk to me about whatever. And you're like, what the hell is this guy? What's he really want? Like what's his motivation? And he's just like, he keeps kind of prattling on for a while, and eventually you guys get tired of him going in circles, because he does for a few minutes before anyone can really interject. But once you guys do kind of stop him, and kind of say, wait, hold on, we just need to talk to somebody who's dead, he says, okay, maybe we can come to terms, but this can't leave this building because I would be in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I'm good. Yeah.
How often can you talk to the dead? Because I may have another individual I have a few questions for that is no longer of this realm.
I can do it twice a day. No, I can do it 3 times a day but then I need an entire day's rest before those skills come back to me.
So it's draining. It sounds pretty draining.
It is.
So I'll leave it up to you. You're the adventurers. I really would like to get rid of this place, but I obviously can't leave it here unsold for the heathens of the neighborhood to take over. As much as I despise my parents leaving this wretched store to me, it's still a family store, you know. But yeah, you let me know what works best. If I can find someone to take over the mortuary for me, I would be happy to leave it and come adventuring with you. I feel like even dying out adventuring would be more fun than stuffing dead bodies full of chemicals and then finding them coffins and doing not as much fun. Neat, interesting, and entertaining for the first 100 times, but it's been a few thousand times at this point, especially this year. The rash of deaths in town and around town seem to have really climbed.
All right, well, let's get this show started. We'll see if we can work out, see if we can look around and help you find a buyer for this area. But dealing with Terry is a time-sensitive issue. So let's get in there. Come with me, and you can look, and we'll ask him first. You get your own specific question. I
never cared for Terry. He wouldn't share information freely with me. I don't care if you end up talking to him. I would like to speak to my dead person first as payment.
All righty. Where's your dead person?
At the cemetery south of town.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. I have to touch the body. Will you help me dig it up?
We'll have to dig him up.
All right. Let's do that. Let's go to the cemetery.
I love how we're not questioning who his dead person is.
I don't have a shovel. Do you have any? I'm not much of. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not the one in charge of the graveyard. And to be fair, it's probably illegal to dig up the bodies. So we might have to do this tonight.
So let's do the not illegal stuff first, which we're already here.
I have bad experience with travelers and payment. You learn quickly in the death business that if they don't pay up front, you're not going to get paid. So
that's
no, absolutely.
How
would you take something as collateral?
She looks
they don't
at Bitch
pay
Slap,
you and then they die.
Or his head goes over to Bitch Slap, says, "Collateral, you say? You're a big one, aren't you?"
Yeah, I'm pretty big.
Yeah, well, I could use some help getting the shop set up for the purchase from someone. Hopefully, no one's really even inquired. Not too many people care about that. I don't even. Just think it's fascinating. Perhaps you could help me move some things. It's been quite the struggle working on my own, and the town kids only come around when they want copper pieces.
Sure, I'll help you.
Okay, come with me. We'll be back in a little bit. Please, make yourself a room. The mahogany one's especially popular this year. And he steps in and takes Bitch Slap in the back, where there is another wall separating the back room into two rooms that has a door and another wall to the other side. But in this room, there is just a mess of boards and objects that are just kind of haphazardly put places. Like if you pull one board out and three fall, things like that. It looks like he crafts the coffins here, but he also handles the ceremonies and the funerals and things like that. But the graveyard itself does the digging and the filling of the holes. But he's got a bunch of stuff. He's like, "Hey, well, could you just help me get this a little more structured? It's just every time I pull one out, it all falls, and then by the time it all falls, I can barely lift any of it. It's just I'm good with puzzles. I'm just not good with weight."
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so let's just do athletics for you, Bitch Slap, and the rest of you are left alone in the front foyer of the mortuary.
There's nothing going on up here that hasn't already been described.
No, I mean there's a counter space that's at the far side where there is what appears to be kind of some sort of mechanical triangle device. It has buttons, like a bunch of buttons on it, and like a lever that you've not seen one like before. That's kind of interesting. It has Elvish scroll along the back of it.
My script reading. What does that scroll say? The eyes of the
register.
Okay.
Or gold coin depository, something like that.
Gold coin depository.
Insert your favorite message that basically says cash register in Elven.
Okay.
However you need it to sound. But yeah, so it looks like just one of those super old school like typewriters or cash registers in that sense, and it's in the shape of a triangle because it's sitting on the counter and it's got the slant to it, a little drawer, and a lever. Athletics you did for a quick 12.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll
Not
it at
very good.
advantage. So just roll it one more time, just because
Okay.
you're just sweating. You're not like having to leap a tall building in a single bound or anything. Yeah, that's better. It takes you about a half hour to essentially slam the boards around enough to get them to be stacked on top of each other, not just like, not like pixie. What's it called? Pickup sticks.
Pickup sticks. Yeah.
Otherwise, outside there, but that after he gets her squared away, he'll come back out and he'll say, "Okay, well, she helped me with that. If you want to come back tonight, we can head over to the graveyard and perhaps Milady Muscles here could dig us a hole and get to my questions."
All right, haven't
Oh, wait,
predetermined.
I thought that was the collateral for us to talk to Terry now, and then we're gonna go to the graveyard tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was my understanding.
sorry.
Same.
Negotiations just has never been my strong suit. I apologize. Terry, the hole in his head.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. I suppose I can be convinced. She does look better back there, more so than it ever has since my parents passed. Well, come on then, you, Mr. Half Elf. Come with me. The rest of you, if you could maybe perhaps watch the shop. He hands Balar a broom and a dustpan to Zenevieve, a mop to Aram. And he says, "Okay, come on, Phil. I'll show you the way." And he takes you by the arm gently and like leads you to the back room and through the other door, where there are 3 bodies on tables. One of which is Terry's, one of which is a dwarf, and then one of which is a human you've not seen as well. So he takes you back there, and Terry is. They're all naked. They're all dead. They've been they've been had autopsies done. And they've been stuffed with chemicals and whatnot that the mortuary is going to do. And he says, interestingly enough, what was your name, half elf?
My name is Labolo Tillstring.
Such a pleasure to meet you. Pleasantries are just hard. When you talk to the dead all day, sometimes you forget you're even talking. Other times you say things maybe you shouldn't. And I must apologize now for my aloof attitude. It is not intentional. That being said, weird thing that you might find interesting is that when he was brought in and I inspected his body to figure out the cause of death, the guard had mentioned blunt force trauma, but there's a hole in his head.
Yeah, we had noticed that too. And you did say this is the 3rd one. So.
The 3rd one in as many weeks. And the strangest thing that besides the hole, about the size, of a copper penny, there's no brains in there.
Oh no. So his whole entire brains are gone. Well, that's disturbing. Yeah. Is this the case with all 3?
Yeah. The guard didn't seem concerned at all. They just thought maybe they spilled out. Shows what non-scholars can do. The guards in this town, I swear, if they weren't on the payroll of the church or the lord of the manor, they wouldn't be worth anything.
You must see amazing amounts of interesting things with corpses. That you should be able to. I hope you guys talk about that when you guys talk about Ballard dying multiple times, because it'd be interesting to see what you've seen also.
The human.
Yes. Well, I guess he's human. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, Morty?
I'm more excited than I've ever been. This is. Right. You're gonna be able to talk to him, really?
Yes, we get 5 questions. All right, and sometimes the dead are disorientated. So we're going to do our best, all right? And then we'll ask one of your questions too. All right, ready? So I put my hands on Terry, and I start the, it's not incantation, what's it called?
Ritual
to speak to the dead.
Okay.
Let me know when we're...
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's a spell you have in your repertoire, so you managed to you have the components and everything. You're good on all that.
Yeah, and then so I hear the warping and wobbling and passing through the dead. I'm all, "Hello, Terry."
Let's just read this here real quick.
Yeah.
So duration lasts for 10 minutes, range of 10 feet. You just got to burn some incense. So you go in there, you slap some incense down, you fire it up. Let's see. You grant the semblance of life and intelligence, allowing it to answer questions. The corpse must still have a mouth, can't be undead. Fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days. Till the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. New in life, language is new, brief, cryptic, or repetitive. Corpse is under no compulsion to offer truth. Hostile if you recognize you as an enemy. Doesn't bring its soul back. And no new information. Can't comprehend anything that's happened since it died. And can't speculate about future events. Okay. Sounds good. I think you probably have some incense, so let's make it happen. So,
But one alteration to that in regards to the incense.
Okay.
Incense is a component. He should be able to bypass a component with his
Music.
drum because he's a bard.
Okay, yeah, I'm open to that if that's however you want to do it. You want to slap some incense down and go to work to cover up the smell of dead people, or do you want to just
Beat on your drum.
beat on yourself and your drum?
Do I get any drum or do I have to use my drum?
Gotta be your drum.
Yeah,
Okay. So I start mildly tapping on my drum with my other hand, making a beautiful rain noise. And then I put my hand on Terry, and I'm like, "Hello, Terry." And then
You haven't asked him a question, so he says nothing.
oh well, all right. I was all, Terry, how did you die?
Made a deal.
So I'm still tapping on my drum. Terry, are you satisfied with your death? Are you good being dead?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. What's it like being dead?
Dark.
Say again?
Dark.
Oh, okay.
That's an extra question. So
Yeah. So
say it again.
more...
That's 2 questions. No, I'm just kidding. That's 3.
Then...
Hey, that's some bullshit.
That was a good move.
All right. Who did you make a deal with?
One of the Lord's men.
All right. Does your wife look her age?
I don't have a wife.
Ooh. All right, buddy. That's my 5 questions. Rest in peace. We will try to bring justice to you in your life. But stop playing my drum.
Okay.
All right. So I look up at Morty. I was like, okay, so you saw him. And
he did. He said it was just dark.
I know, right?
He didn't even know if he was happy with death. This doesn't. This leaves more questions than answers. This was a bogus deal. I hope that my questions garnered better answers than him.
I know, right? I believe you. I feel the same. But we now know that he did not fall and bump his head. So now make sure to be when you write down your 5 questions, make sure to be very specific about what you want, okay?
Of course. It makes a lot of sense. Now, I do have one question for you, Labolo.
Go for it.
Why would someone as beautiful as you, and I don't typically find the humankind and humanoids and elves to be attractive, but why would someone of your stature hang out with this mishmash crew?
I'm mishmash
calling us
too.
Ugly?
No, he said mishmash. He didn't say unattractive. It's like I mishmash too. And I find myself surrounded by people that I enjoy their company and enjoy going on adventures with them. So.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I will also mention I really like the half-orc's tulip. I think it's a nice touch that takes away from the severity of her forehead and not her tusks.
Now she's calling one of us ugly.
No, the tulip brought out all her good sides.
Nature brings out the best in her, and she brings out the best in nature. So, indeed.
So, shall we say dusk then for our adventure to the graveyard?
Oh, I thought you guys were going to have food and talk about dinner. What time are you doing that? Or talk about your adventures in death?
Oh no, that does sound amazing. Unfortunately, I have, as you see, and he points to the three bodies. I have much work to do as we're laying all three of these bodies to rest here, but in a few hours.
All right. Well, bring a shovel with you,
I
or a
don't. I
couple
don't
if you
do the
got them.
digging. You
But
don't listen at
but
all.
but no, I do listen. You know the people that do the digging,
Oh.
so it looks better if you ask them about shovels because you know them better. And then 2 or 3 shovels. We go out as soon as it's an hour or two after dark, and we will get your questions answered. How's that sound, Morty?
I don't think I'll have time to go get shovels. If you could handle that, I would be much more appreciated.
All right, we got it. So we got you. We'll see you about an hour or two after dark.
That's fine. Where should I meet you?
The cemetery.
Oh,
wherever you said your person is in the cemetery, right?
Of course.
All right, then we'll meet there, and then you can show us the tomb or the grave, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, it was nice to meet you. You're an interesting character.
Thank you. I appreciate your character as well.
How did you use a drum to talk to the dead? I'm curious. Can you explain that to me?
Oh shit! Hold on. As a bard, I in a sense cast social magic or enter such magic, but I need a way to direct my magic. So using a drum or a musical instrument allows me to use my magic and broadcast it outwards.
Interesting. I'm so interested. The more we speak, the more I think I do really want to go to this institute that's being erected in Grenwell, at Summerside, one of their main cities, one of the main cities.
All right, we're headed out there. Walking without protection is very difficult out here. So when you come with us, make sure that you have a weapon that you feel comfortable with, and try to stay out of danger's way. People die all the time crossing the roads. I'd like to help you feel better and make you feel like we could protect you, but it's a choice of your own to venture into the jaws of trouble. So if you're still into that after we talk to your friend, then we'll see what we can do to get you over to Summerside.
That would be much appreciated. And again, that was very interesting to see you do that. I'll have more questions, I'm sure, but right now I'm still just a little baffled by all of this. It seems out of the blue. But yes, please, an hour or two after dark at the graveyard. I will go there probably shortly after dark. I don't want to be there very much at night, as there have been rumors of unsettling things moving around at night.
All right. Well, that sounds awesome, Morty. We'll see you there. And I go ahead and leave.
Okay. Come back out. He goes with you out to the front, and you guys leave. Is that right?
Wait, who's looking at who laying in the coffin to see what they look like dead?
Oh, I'm totally laying in the coffin just to fuck with Morty.
Looks
Poor
good.
Morty.
Zenevieve definitely corrected stuff on him.
What do you mean?
Organized.
Like your arms aren't in the right place, dude. You got to get them higher.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's standing around him, sad. Remember that time that you carried a person to the grave? It was so noble. It's so noble.
Hey, Ram's crying in the corner. I'll never slap an ass like that again.
Oh.
Aram standing over the corpse. He's like, "Die once, shame on you. Die twice, shame on you too. Die a third time, we're leaving you down there, buddy."
Why do you think I haven't died a third time yet?
I know. I'm sure you'll die twice more tonight yet. Okay.
Diamonds are expensive.
Where are you?
By the way, Shenanigans thinks that's a shady question. The questions were shady.
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's just a comment that was put into our feed. I thought I'd relay that to the group.
I 100% think that's fine. I'd be interested to hear more about that, Shenanigans. Feel free to type up as much as you can about that, as far as what you mean by they were shady. Like the answers were shady, or the questions he answered that he asked were shady.
Before we leave, I do want to make mention to Morty. I'm still willing to discuss my death and rebirth, so to speak, and all that. If we're meeting tonight, we can think of when he wants to do it between now and then, and we'll figure out the details later.
Are you still in the coffin when you tell him this?
Oh, totally. Laying there, eyes closed, just.
He
Hey,
shrieks when you start talking. He shrieks. He says, "Oh my god! I thought you did it again. Did you do it again? You're incredible."
So, I mean, if we are going to escort him to Summerside, you could probably discuss that stuff with him along the travels, providing we're not interrupted too much.
Discuss it amongst ourselves between now and tonight when we're meeting up with him, and then work out the details with him later if we decide to go ahead with it.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're leaving. Regroup back at the inn, I suppose.
Okay. And you have one large room there at least, Mike. I think Aram has a large room still on.
He's been here for like 2 days. I'm gonna go take a bath.
Okay.
Like, I'm not generally a clean person living in the woods and all, but the city, I just need to get the city smell off me for an hour or two.
So you're going to head over to the slippery noodle bathhouse, wherever it was?
Slippery noodle, the clean whistle.
Clean whistle.
Slippery noodle, clean whistle, they're cousins.
Yeah.
Wrong town.
Maybe in the process, Genevieve can go check with her Broken Skull contact.
That's what I was about to ask, if Labolo told us what Terry had said.
And I'm just doing the 1 gold. No herpes check on me.
Hey, you still get mended, and you can attend it with 1 gold.
That's fine. I just don't need no rub and tug. That's all.
I know. The full service is so nice, though.
It is, but I'm good.
Okay.
But did Labolo tell the party what was said by Terry? Bear, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm not Labolo. I don't know.
Yeah, I explained it to him as we're all walking towards No Man's, and before Balar blazes off to play in the bubbles. Then
Genevieve is definitely gonna go off to find Franz. Then
Going with Genevieve.
Shenanigans thinks that those questions he was asking makes her think that he has something up his sleeve.
Morty.
Being that Labolo asked the questions, I think she's pointing it at Labolo.
Oh, me? Labolo? No, he just has no idea what to ask the dead, really, to be honest with you.
It's your first time you cast it.
All right, I'm still new at the spell, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my first time.
All right, so Balar's going to get a bath. Bitch Slap and Genevieve are going to go to see if they can go to find Franz at the kind of seedy bar. Where'd he go?
It's at the bottom.
Oh,
Broken Skull.
Yeah, there it is, the Broken Skull. Okay. And what about that leaves you, Mike?
I mean, I don't necessarily want to go with Balar to go get his bath. He doesn't need company for that. I suppose I could probably tag along with Genevieve if she doesn't mind.
Oh, you've never been here before, have you?
No, actually, no. I didn't partake in that adventure the last time we were in town.
And what
Fantastic.
about you, Labolo?
You'll love it.
Are you going to go with them as well?
No, I'm gonna go to No Man's and kind of recover. Like, touching dead people and experiencing that is kind of a icky feeling. So I'm gonna go straight in my mind over at No Man's. And then
Okay. No Man's is less busy when you get there. I'll go over that. I'm going to start with Jacob. Jacob, the bathhouse is also not very busy. Watilda is there, manning the front as per usual, looking just as dapper as she has come to be as she's grown into her position of partial owner of the establishment. She looks up when you come in. She's like, "Tell me you have news."
I forget what kind of news she's looking for.
She had
Sylvia.
told you that Sylvia had come through here and that she had went off on an adventure on
that's
her
right.
own, and
That's right. That's right.
and that she took the young waitress with her that Bitch Slap inspired into being a fighter.
That's right. Unfortunately, no, we've run into a hitch here in town. We need to resolve those things, but I'm here. I'm not used to the city. I need to get the scent off me before we continue. Unfortunately, there's no news at this point.
You see her eyes get a little watery. She's like, I'm so worried. She's always so nice to me. I just hope that she finds what she's looking for and that she makes it home safely to us.
Place a sympathetic hand on her shoulder. Rest assured, whether good or bad, we will find out what happened to her. All in good time, though.
Give me a persuasion check.
And Shenanigans has, while he's rolling that, Shenanigans has corrected me. That was not Lobolo she's pointing that at. That was Morty.
I'm shady.
Dirty 20.
I've been shady since the day I was born. If Emma hadn't stolen it, I'd have had that as my nomenclature.
Dirty
20 is pretty good. You're pretty confident you have made her feel better about her situation. At least her fear for her friend, you've appeased her, and she says, "Thank you. I know it's probably silly. Sylvia's always been such a badass fighter, and she really is an inspiration to girls everywhere." Oh gosh, let me get your attendant, and she takes you, puts her arm around your upper back and says, "Come on," and she starts to guide you over to a half elf girl who she's pretty younger, has a couple of towels with her and is carrying a bucket with steaming water. She takes you to a tub that's half full, and she dumps that water in it, lays the towels out, and says, "Help yourself to the bathroom, Lord. I'll be back with more water." She gets out. Huh?
Getting in the tub.
In your clothes?
Well, no.
My clothes need washed too. No, all good. So yeah, I get it. You strip, you get in there, you're taking a bath. She comes back in with hot water and bubbles if you want them, because Mike mentioned bubbles. And there's soap and stuff, and she's at your beck and call as far as getting you cleaned up and scrubs your back for you if you want her to. Got a big one of those, what are they called? Scrub brush, not this. But big scrub brush.
I'll take the help making sure the hard to hit spots are hit, but other than that, I'm a pretty low maintenance client. No bubbles. It seems unnatural to me.
Oh.
Well, your dex is 16. I'm surprised you can't reach everywhere, but that's all right. I'll let her help. No big deal. So
it's not that I can't reach. It's just more convenient to have somebody else do it for me.
Sure. And everything's going fine there. There's nothing untoward happening in the bathhouse at this time. Give me a perception check, though, as you finish up and start to leave.
Dirty 20.
100%. Okay. So you notice that whereas the main part of the common bath isn't very busy, the more expensive rooms, which there are 6 of them, are all used right now. Not that that's necessarily out of place or a big deal. You just notice it.
Okay. Is what's her name? Watilda,
yep.
Do I pass by her on the way out?
Of course. She essentially, think of Watilda as the owner hostess of the bathhouse.
Okay. So yeah, as I walk out, I want to tip her, I'll say 3 gold on the way out, and thank her formally for being so welcoming to me and my group, and just kind of casually mention, business seems to be doing good. Looks like you got all the big rooms booked out.
Her eyes get a little wider, and she says, "Keep your voice down. We don't like to speak about the guests here sometimes. It's not you. I just, for the sanctity of the place, it's sometimes people don't like to have other people know their business when it comes to their cleanliness. But yes, thankfully we are quite busy. We had a quick influx of some rather notable figures."
So out loud, I'd like to say, "Oh, I apologize. Of course, I understand." But with my awakened mind, I'd like to communicate with her. Of course, I understand. just seems, I understand businesses change. It just seemed a little unusual, and there might be something weird going on in town. So I'm just making sure everything here is okay because we care about you.
I picture you saying this to her, like right after you got done speaking, you start going like this and looking at her. Like it starts, all these words start tumbling in her head, and she's like, "Oh
no,
gosh."
just kind of like a casual stare, not a crazy stare, but just kind of like a casual, making eye contact, making, like doing the facial gestures with the words without saying them out loud. So
Okay.
she kind of gets the hint that it's coming from me.
So
Okay.
you wink at her.
So you do this, and as you're finishing your words, or whatever, she takes you kind of, I wouldn't say roughly, but firmly by your bicep, and starts to lead you towards the door, and then steps out onto the front pavement with you, or the front ground with you, and she leans in tight, close, and says, "There have been a lot of dignitaries in town of late, and you know." Duke Renard is not one to leave his manor or have much company, and I am quite confused by how much has come in. As you saw, all of our most expensive rooms are taken right now for private baths of some dignitaries from Summerside.
I think we just lost Bilar.
That's okay. I'm on to the next person anyway. We'll come back to him when he gets back, or at some point. So that means after that, let's see. We've got let's oh, there, here, he's back. Let's finish him up. So did you catch what I said, Jacob?
No, it cut off as me and Bitch Slap were doing the motion.
Not you and Bitch Slap. But I guess Bitch Slap was just doing that in person. But no, you mean you and...
She was doing it on the camera. That's how her face froze. Was
Oh, beautiful.
That's all we've ever wanted, was a frozen-faced Katie pretending to be a winking Bitch Slap. So she takes you out to the front stoop, essentially, and she leans in close and she says, "Things have been rather busy here and quite odd. Duke Renard isn't one to leave his manor, as is his family really truly isn't either. However, as of late, we've had lots of incoming traffic, and they've been mainly dignitaries from Summerside, and he's not one to really even entertain guests much. So I don't care, but it is odd that we've had so many of noble and higher blood coming through, or rank."
Okay, absolutely, I completely understand. I mean, other than it just being odd, has anything else stuck out to you?
No, no. Obviously it's good for business. I'm not trying to complain. It's just I don't know how many people you know that have lots of money. I know that you as adventurers, you and your companions probably don't hurt for coin most of the time, but some of these nobles, they're on a different level. They think differently, they act differently, they look down on the staff, they don't even tip well. When Sylvia gave me that wad of cash, of money that one time, I was able to rise above my normal station and improve my life. I was able to pay into buying a portion of this to where I now make a percentage of what comes in, and I'm soon going to move my family out of the hovels, at least into the mid city hill.
Of course. No, absolutely. Trust me, from somebody who grew up in the woods with nothing, I completely understand. And I'm going to take her hand gently into mine and put an extra 5 gold into hers and cover it and be like, trust me, as long as we exist, you will be taken care of. Me and my party will make sure of it.
All right, roll a persuasion with advantage.
God, I love Watilda.
She's the best.
What's our pet?
10.
She leans into your like your warm, friendly embrace. She leans into it, like rests her head kind of on your shoulder, and she sighs. She says, "I really do appreciate your concern, but I'm afraid that until Sylvia returns, no one will be safe." And she tears up a little bit and turns and goes back inside, not crying, but a little distraught.
And I'm going to kind of wait for a moment, make sure she doesn't come back out, because it happens. After
it's called the boomerang lady effect.
Yeah. After that, I'm going to head back to No Man's Inn and wait for the rest of the group.
Okay. Very
Just
cool.
kind of keep it casual, light snack.
Light snack, some vanilla
light
wafers.
snack and I forget the term. Baby a beer, I guess, is a good term. Not get drunk, but make it look like I'm drinking. So
Nurse a beer, I think, is the proper.
Nurse a beer. There it is.
Okay, cool. Let's slide on over to Bitch Slap and Zenevieve. Bitch Slap and Zenevieve.
And
by the time
Aram.
he's, huh? Oh, and Aram.
And Aram.
I forgot. And Aram as well. So if that's the case, actually, let me do Lobolo first because he's solo. So Lobolo, you go to No Man's Inn and get situated in a booth, or are you going up to your room?
I'm actually going to go up to the room and just mull over what has been said to me, think about what I saw, what I heard. Other than that, I really don't have anything going on.
Okay. Are you proficient in history?
Not really. But let me get back into skills here.
Yeah, history
I think
and insight aren't great for you.
Yeah.
So.
Dane, if I may, real quick, I'm sorry.
That's fine. One thing, Kelly, roll perception, and then go ahead, Jake.
While I'm sitting there, I would like to sit in kind of an out of the way, secluded area, and I'd like to pour over the Necromancy for Beginners book from the Lich's Cave.
Okay. Cool. So it'll take you because he's honestly gonna get to the end before you even get to the bathhouse. Lobolo is.
Once I get to the bathhouse, that's what I want to do until the rest of the group shows up.
Well, like once you leave the bathhouse and go to the inn, that's what you're going to be reading that book. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, Lobolo. With the 14, you don't notice anything crazy out of sight in your room or here. That's not what I was using that for anyhow. But you're just reflecting back on the most recent events and things like that. Nothing super crazy pops up as untoward or out of place or extra helpful right at this time.
All right.
So that was it for you, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. The other three of you make it to the Broken Skull. Broken Skull is a gambling den and a smokehouse. There is a palpable level of smoke just kind of hanging about in the air as there are multiple hookah beanie chair hookah sections. There's a couple of tables with different dice or card games going on. And Franz, as is his way, is in the middle of a 5-man game of some kind of game similar to poker. He has easily 250 gold in front of him. He's doing well.
Zenevieve walks over, just gently socially puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, "We need to talk."
He looks back at you with his Franz face. And he half smiles, half smirks, half frowns. So you pick your half. He's doing one of those, maybe two even. And as your hand touches his shoulder, he loses half his gold on the most recent hand. And he says, well, sorry boys, looks like business calls. We'll have to pick this up next time. He swoops the other half into a bag, ties it, and says, you know me, I would stay until the sun came up, but as you see, I have matters to attend to. He chuckles mischievously, and kind of, you could tell he's just like trying to not lose any more money as he just lost half of what he just won. And he takes his bag and he grabs you by the arm, turns abruptly, and bangs right into Aram. Elf, what is happening? What, you brought a whole choir with you? What is excuse me, guys. I gotta deal with this. I'm not come on. And he takes you and pushes past Aram kind of gruffly and heads out to the front. With Zenevieve in tow, Bitslap and Aram are welcome to follow.
Oh yeah, I'm following. Right there.
Now you guys get out to the front, and you notice across from the Broken Skull, one of those two square rectangles right straight across from there. You notice they're under construction, and there is a sign up that says "The Decapitated Unicorn," and there's 2 beer mugs clanking together underneath it. It looks like a new, okay, but out of the city tavern and inn is being built. It's called the decapitated unicorn. But anyway, you get outside, and he says, "Thank you so much for getting me away from there. I probably would have lost it all if I didn't get away while I still could. What is going on? I got a note from our mutual acquaintance." And he looks at Aram and bitch slaps. Says, "I recognize the big one. Who's this hoity-toity elf?" Before he actually finishes his sentence about what he heard.
He's the one who's gonna take the fall for that if we go back, apparently. But
oh, this is the way. Okay, so what brings you to back to Blacktomb then? I mean, it seems like you should have plenty of money from your last adventure. You should be living the life, or did you gamble it all away? You gambled it all away, didn't you? Ah.
I wish that's what had happened. At least I could be mad at myself because of that.
Like, no, we keep having to spend it because everybody's dead.
Yeah, no, we keep having to revive people and restore memories. It's not a great time. I need to know if you know anything about a couple of things. For starters, anything about the recent deaths in town.
Okay, persuasion with advantage.
Advantage. 17.
Which ones? I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about. Who is somebody? Was there a hit? I wasn't informed of any hit, and I usually know about that.
We don't necessarily know if it was a hit. We just know that the circumstances are shady. The name Terry ring any bells to you?
Oh, the lunk from the magic shop?
Yeah.
He's dead?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. He seems happier than you would maybe expect that. He seems almost excited. Oh, he says.
I don't like that look on your face right now, bud.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just thinking about something. Insight.
What?
Roll insight. All three of you can.
Oh. Ooh.
Not gonna be much help here.
We leave it up to Mike.
Please.
Wait, insight?
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be anytime you need some intimidation, though.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything's fine?
Everything is fine. Yeah, you get no bad feelings about his way. He definitely.
Okay.
You definitely got the feeling that he was like laughing about it, like, "Oh, Terry's dead. Oh yeah, who would have thought?" That's wild that he kind of gets a look in his eye, but you can't really place what he's thinking.
Huh. All right. Follow-up question. What do you know about some of the Lord's men?
They couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. He goffles and elbows you in the ribs.
Haha. You're so funny.
I don't. I try to stay away from any nobility as per I'm. He whispers, "A wanted man."
Yep, you could tell me that again.
No. Once is enough. He looks around nervously as two humans in kind of moderate clothes kind of walk past and slide into the broken skull.
All right, so you really know nothing right now, Franz?
I mean, you say people are dying, but I mean, I don't know of any marks. There have been no hits. There's been no, as far as at least not in my circle. There's been no assassinations contracted. Why are you looking for work?
If you have any, but I got another question. You know Terry. You know of him. What do you know of his wife?
They never got married. I'm pretty sure they're. Yeah, I don't know much. I don't think he has a wife though. I think there's a lady he was dating.
Okay.
They live together even, but he's not married. I don't think.
Okay, good to know.
Terry and I have a bit of a history. He never ever paid fair price for the things I would bring him, and I just at a certain
What'd you
point.
Bring him?
What?
What'd you bring him?
Many things over time. Trinkets, really.
I'm sure. All right. Bitch Slap Ariam, you have anything to ask my friend here?
Nope.
Other than why is he so rude? No.
Excuse me?
Fight.
I look him up and down, give him the inquisitive look. I don't think I stuttered, did I?
He looks at Genevieve, says, Genevieve, you and I have a working relationship that's benefited us both. You'd be wise not to bring these hoity-toity bastard elves around here. And he storms off into the rain that picks up as he walks away.
Oh, darn. I was going to ask him if he knew where to get a hand crossbow.
Kicks dirt back at Mike, at Aram.
Hey, be nice to my contact. He's the only one I got here.
He's not on fire, is he?
Aram as a father doesn't let his children hang out in seedy bars.
That's fair. That's fair. Fine.
Okay, and then back to No Man's.
At least Genevieve's done. I don't know.
Yeah, I just question marked it.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I was just tagging along so I could see the place and hear the information we were getting. So
sure. And all of you rolled shitty, so your fault.
We're really good at rolling shitty on like the non-combat stuff.
I think the hardest part about being a dungeon master is wanting to tell you guys stuff and then you rolling bad. Like, oh, I'll tell you what you need to know. Here's a 5. But anyway, okay, so you guys all head back to No Man's. When you get to No Man's, you see in the back corner, Balar is tucked in the back corner with one of the tomes in front of him open up, and he's cracking through it. And then the establishment itself is quite a bit slower. The 3 dwarves are still there. History check for anybody that's downstairs.
18.
Good enough. You guys don't have to roll. I assume you guys are sharing across the top. But 24, even better.
I'm sorry. No, that was a wrong button.
Oh.
I don't know how I hit the wrong button on that. Yep.
Let's see. So that's...
So ignore that one.
Malar with an 18, though. You think you recognize the dwarves as the same dwarves that you had seen another time in another bar. Or in a restaurant. Named the Flying Napkin.
That was a long time ago.
Well, that's why you had to roll to remember. The Flying Napkin was the first establishment you guys found out about, and Rico is the human owner of that place. He's the one that hired you initially to go after the rats.
Yep.
Not the rats.
That's actually quite close to where you guys were over at the Broken Skull. Just inside the gate there by the Smith install. But anyhow, so you guys are all back at No Man's. You recognize the dwarves amongst yourselves. You guys join Bear, or I'm sorry, do you join, I said Bear, but I meant Balar at the table? Or do you go up to the rooms?
I'm going to put the book away as they come and sit down.
Okay.
And fill them back in, or fill them in on what I was told while I was at the bathhouse about how there's nobles or dignitaries, from Summerside that have been coming, and it just seems kind of off to Matilda. And that she had mentioned Renard. Was it Renard? My handwriting
like
sucks.
Renard.
Renard.
And I will say, and I'm not sure I mentioned it, but the dignitaries started showing up about 3 weeks ago, just over.
Okay. Relay that as well. And then give them the conclusion that I have no idea if it has anything to do with anything, but she's extremely distraught about Sylvia. And if we want to continue having baths, we should probably do something about that. And then past mention of my memory of, pretty sure those dwarves were at the Flying Napkin all those weeks ago.
So yeah, it's on you guys at this point as far as the rest of the day goes.
Is there anything off about these dwarves?
They look like kind of badasses. They don't look like just like lumberjacks or miners or fishers. They look like full on fighter warrior type dudes. And they all have pretty nice but used armor and weapons on them.
Do they have like
And
any
there were
insignia?
more of them before. Sorry.
Do they have like any insignia or like something on them that like is recognizable?
Roll perception.
Fantastic.
Everybody?
Sure, if you're looking, if you decide to look. I assume everything that Genevieve says gets like whispered to Bitchlap first. Let's see if they have insignias.
Natural 20.
Hey!
Awesome.
So you, obviously with the natural 20, skill checks don't really get natural 20s for all those that are watching and yelling at me like, they don't work like that. Well, they show natural 20, she's bonused from it. So natural 20 or 20 plus anyway, you will notice that there is an embroidered golden empty star. So like there's no, it's not filled in. It's just the outline of a golden star on each of their shoulders. And you would also realize that there were, I think, 5 or 6 of them at the Flying Napkin before. And now there's 3.
Okay.
Not that they're dead, but I mean, that's just a thing. There's less of them.
I'd like to point that symbol out to Aram and ask if he knows anything about that. Seeing as he's been around here the longest and may have an idea, or try to recall from my own memory if I know anything about that symbol.
Sure, I would take history from that.
I don't think so.
I think you're doing great, Mike.
Wait! Got inspiration, what the hell?
You gonna reroll?
Let's reroll. This seems kind of important.
Sure.
Oh, damn it.
Watch.
All right.
Better.
I'm going to use my inspiration. Why not?
I like you rolled better.
I did by 1 point.
Watch it be that Mike is telling us this stuff and they're actually not relevant at all. He's just doing this to throw us off.
We both used our inspiration. We both rolled worse.
No, he rolled better by 1.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
Can Genevieve do history?
Well, so why not?
Fantastic.
If you get it.
Oh no!
Me and Aram are just in the corner like, are they Jewish? No, they're not Jewish.
Do you want to use your inspiration, Genevieve?
I'll tell you what, you guys Tesla the hell out of that roll.
All right, I'm curious now. Let's see what I can do.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I'll use my inspiration. Why not?
This is going down in history as the best use of inspiration ever.
It is absolutely certain they're astrologers.
I just need Bitchlap to use hers as well, and everybody will use their inspiration for a history check on gold outlines of stars on their shoulders. Ooh.
20!
Hey.
So Bitchlap didn't get to use hers yet. Dang, that was almost epic. I guess I'll suffer in silence. It's fine. She'll need that because she's gonna get a nat 1 later on in an attack, I'm sure. Okay, so Genevieve with a 20. After you think it and then think harder on it, you realize that you're fairly certain they belong to a mercenary band. Of some type. The band. Other thing that you would know about the mercenary band is that it's most likely from Korsoth, which is the dwarven-ruled nation, I believe, to the north of Grenweld, where you guys are.
Okay.
Across some water.
I relay this somehow recovered information to Aram Balar and Bitchlap, and I'm like, you I think?
She's like, carry the 1. I think it was, oh yeah, Korsoth.
So wait, they get paid regularly for the shit that we've been having to argue to get paid for? Is what you're telling me?
Yup.
Is it dwarves only?
I honestly don't know that much about this. You can ask them.
Fuck it, and I'm gonna grab my drink and walk over.
I've been nursing this for a reason.
Zenevie's gonna order a drink and some food to watch this go down.
Oh, good.
What was the name of the thing again? My out of character memory sucks. So
Mercenary band.
That's all you gave us.
Yeah, she didn't. I mean, with a 20, it's not super common in the world as of current time in history. So the fact that she knows anything about it is actually, but the 20 got her. 25 or 30 would have done you a lot more justice. But
so yeah, I'm gonna pull up a stool. I'm assuming they're sitting like near the corner of the bar, so I want to be around the corner. So
they're not at the bar; they're actually at bar tops, like high top tables.
Gotcha.
Which is weird because their feet aren't on the ground and they're dwarves and they're like up a ways. They looked uncomfortable and that's where they were originally. Now they're about 7 or 10 beers in though, and they never moved after everybody cleared out.
Okay, so first I want to go to the bar and get a round of whatever drinks they're having, so I don't walk up to them empty-handed because that's polite. And then I'll walk up to the table and, hey gents, these are yours regardless of anything. But I noticed the star, and forgive me in my ignorance, I don't know, but I was informed maybe you're part of a mercenary group, and I'm out here to make some money, and was hoping I could have a conversation with you. Whether you want to have it or not, drinks are yours.
Well, that's mighty fine of you, human, says the one closest to you with a pretty nasty, fresh scar across his face from top left to bottom right of his face. Yeah, it's mighty fine of you, human. I appreciate a good beverage at any time. And you say you are curious about these gold emblem stars on our shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to join a cult, but if there's money to be made, I might consider.
So you say cult, and like all three of them bust out in like super dwarven drunken laughter. Slapping the table, spilling beer, like just one of them bites a big chunk out of a mutton, choking on his meat, as is the way, meat chokers. But they, after they settle down from their drunken, laughter or whatever, they say there's always money to be made. You lot here in Grenwell don't know much about mercenary guilds, do you?
Fortunately, no. Me and my party over there, we've been doing what we need to get by. But if we can find steady work with steady pay, I feel like it would be better for us than having to haggle to get paid for whatever job we can find.
How do you feel about moving to Korsoth?
I mean, I'd have to run it past the group, but I'm not opposed.
Don't
know much about it.
What do you mean the group?
The lot back over there, and I just kind of throw a finger over my shoulder.
Oh, those are your friends, you say?
If they look, Zenevie waves.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least one or two of them kind of glance over. Okay. Well, if you want to join the guild, you'd have to do it in Korsoth, and your best bet. Do I have what I want? Your best bet for joining. There is a location. It's on the coast. There's one of our coastal cities, and I'm sorry, I don't think I have it in front of me right now. And so insert name of city here, which I have somewhere else. I have to find it. It's just not right here. And then just outside the city is a place called the Dagger Board. You go there, you can petition them to let you join. I will say, we don't have very many non-dwarves in our Korsothian Dagger Board.
Of course, understandable.
Now, you might benefit if you're open to, putting your money where your mouth is. There are sometimes it's a dwarvish word. Excuse me if you don't understand it. To franchise the opportunity.
And he says that word in Dwarven?
Yeah, I mean, the franchise is Dwarven.
Okay. I mean, do I understand what he means by that?
Yeah. I mean, if you
Okay.
if you want to spread your business venture out and whatnot, there is an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is and buy in. He re-explains it to you because he realizes you're a stupid ass human.
Of course, I'm definitely interested in anything that can make us some money. What are we talking about?
So as currently, there are 2 dagger boards in the entirety of all of the world. I believe it is our finder steward's goal to, our founder's goal to populate a dagger board in at least one in each major city, if not even in the smaller cities on each continent and country.
And what would one have to do in order to, as you say, franchise a dagger board?
That's a really good question. It's not something I've ever truly considered, as I plan to go home to my wife under the mountain and help with the digging. There's a rumor of some mighty treasure in Korsoth that we can't miss out on.
A noble cause indeed. I'm from the earth myself, but one must also make a living.
Of course. Well, I fear that I have answered as many questions about the running of a dagger board as I really have the answer for. Your best bet would be to go talk to Steward at the dagger board in Korsoth or the one in Yendel, if you prefer.
You said talk to Steward. Is that his name, Steward, or?
That is both his name and title.
Absolutely. Definitely. In terms of just joining the guild, anything in particular the guild requires? I know you said it's mainly dwarves, but for us non-dwarven folk who may be interested, are anything specific we should plan or prepare for before we go make a fool of ourselves, so to speak?
I'll tell you what. My name is Minri Finebeard. You go there and you mention I sent you, and they'll answer everything they can about either joining our guild or starting another chapter of the guild here in Grunwald, even, which I think they'd be open to. I don't know if outsiders have the same join requirements as dwarves do, as it is a dwarf-founded organization. But, dwarf and elf-founded, really, in mutual agreement. But dwarves really put all the real effort in it. As you know, elves are shifty at best.
You said Minri Finebeard?
Yeah, Minri Finebeard, yep. Okay. And you could tell he's not drunk, but he's like, he shouldn't drive.
Clearly. With that, thank you for everything, and more than appreciative. And I'm gonna slap enough for another round on the table and gesture for them to bring them another round, and thank them again for all the information, and hope we cross paths and can share a drink in the future and go back to the table.
Yeah, as far as human goes, you're all right.
I try.
And as you walk away, they talk in kind of semi-drunkenly hushed tones and then bust out in raucous laughter as you sit down.
I don't understand dwarvish, so.
It works out because they're talking shit. But you get back and you learn some things. Essentially, they've told you that there is a way to join. You probably could join, or alternatively, you could help with franchising the dagger board out. There is a legal agreement, by the way, too, that you would need to get in order to run a dagger board or to.
I figured as much. When I get back to the table, I'm just gonna kind of fill everybody else in on the cliff notes and advise it may be an opportunity worth pursuing if we want to get a steady stream of income going.
We love passive income.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be passive unless it is. Now, I will say there
one less level in Warlock per session.
It's funny. There are a few things I do want to make note of for you guys. There are currently 2 buildings that are businesses that are up for sale. The first one is right across from the Center City Fountain, and it was a business, but it is closed. You're not sure what kind of business it was. It reminds you of the puppy stores that you used to see in the malls back in the day, where there's like the glass window and there's like shelves inside with where the puppies would be sitting on hay or whatever, and like anyway, so there's some of that stuff in there, but you're not sure what the store was. And then Terry's, as we well know now, his common law wife or girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, had mentioned that she wouldn't know how to run it and is open to selling the Magical Oddities location as well. Oh, three, because Morty's Mortuary is also up for sale. People are selling and moving on.
I'm done meditating and head downstairs, and I guess I see the others sitting down there. Make my way to them.
Okay.
So I ask them anything good, what happened, and then all you have to say is transfer information or whatever.
Cliff notes. Do we have any idea? I mean, we haven't really talked to the people in terms of price, but did we notice any type of signage or anything in terms of what Terry's or Morty's would be going for, price-wise?
Morty's? How much? He did not tell you how much he was putting it up.
He just said he wanted to get rid of the business.
Right.
So he'd probably go cheap because it's not something he's into. So.
Yeah, but he did say he wanted enough to propel his life going forward. So.
I wonder if we could convince Morty to leave it under our care. I'm kind of like a rent-to-own type situation. If we establish they bring him earnings on like a weekly or monthly basis.
Well, who's going to run it? Are we going to make a new character for somebody?
We can figure something out. Hey, Pam, you want to be a mortician?
Excuse me, wifey.
She said she'll do it.
Oh, I can always depend on her. That's why I always protect her in the Friday game. All right, cool. So unless you guys have anything else, we're going to have midday / early evening turn into dusk and an hour after, and y'all end up in the cemetery.
The cemetery.
Right, let's see what I got for that. I'm sure I have something. Uncategorized. I know that Michael liked this.
If I brought Pam into it, I would rather she be the magic shop than the mortician.
Sure.
Maybe she could do both.
If I'm putting it. Hey, I'm okay with her being like a property manager and finding employees for both establishments. Just we'll make her something with like super high charisma so she can just persuade the shit out of everybody.
So
why is this stone clearing in front of me again?
I know, that's what I was like. I was like, oh.
I don't like this.
If you have elven blood, put your hands in your pockets right now.
Right.
So I'm just using it because I don't have a cemetery ready for us right now. And it's fine because we can just use this because each of those trees can be a cemetery stone, with the center being the most recent ones. If you look at the Blacktomb Keep labels map, you'll see that the cemetery is to the northeast of town, and it's a graveyard there. I've marked it. It is ran by Philippe. He's an old human with long, scraggly hair and beard, and he has Benares, a goblin, as his gravedigger. They have been together at this particular cemetery for going on 40 years.
Oh.
But anyway, that's who takes care of this place. They are not around currently. And you guys are in the graveyard, and you get there, and he is there already. You guys approach him, I assume.
Yeah, walk up to him.
I would if I could see where he is.
Right.
One small issue with where we are right now. I vaguely remember somebody saying we needed to get shovels.
Yes.
Shouldn't I still have a shovel from the last time I dug up a body?
I mean, if you had a shovel then, you have a shovel now. Just look in your pack.
Yeah, it didn't get added.
Hmm.
All right, walk me through it. How do I add my shovel?
I mean, you just find a shovel in items and drop it on there.
Items. Okay. Tools. Sorry, I'm looking for where to find items. Oh, items. There we go. And is there a search, or do I just go to the S's?
Yeah, you just search and type in shovel. It'll pop up. Mm.
As a matter of fact, I vaguely remember there were a shovel or two on the back of the cart. And I remember Lobolo specifically saying, I'm going to take a couple of these because we might need them. And I told him he was crazy.
No, I thought he had a shovel on him. I didn't know. So it's fine. He can have a shovel.
Yeah, just didn't get added. I can find weapons and I can find armor. What am I missing here?
It should just be if you don't even need to find anything. If you just go into items, and you leave it all open to all at the top and type in SHO and hit enter, it'll come to short, and you do another V on there. Now we got shovel. It's the only one there.
No, that's where you said open up items, right? I got that.
Are you trying to find shovel?
Yes.
It's in the party sheet.
Oh, gotcha.
I just threw it there for you, bub. No problem. I'm gonna put your guy on there. I know you guys are waiting for me patiently to put this guy up. I will. Don't worry. Maybe just do this. Sorry. Dang it.
How about them Knicks?
What about them? Although did they do something?
I don't fucking know.
Did they do something? I don't know.
If I'm not playing D&D, I'm setting up for the next session that I'm running D&D. So that's about how I feel about sports.
Oh, right now.
Well, let's see. It is Morty's mortuary. So let's hear you. Here's Morty.
Yeah.
Mo-erty.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna be traveling with him, so we may need a icon.
No, I got you. He's right here.
Here he is.
I just had to I didn't have a picture I wanted for him. So there he is. He's by the 3 fresh stone graves over here. And you guys meander on over to him then. Okay, cool.
What up, my dude?
Hello. So we made it. I don't like being here at night. I truly would like to get this underway and over so that we could go about the rest of our business and lives.
Of course. We neglected to ask earlier, and it's not going to change our decision to help you because you already helped us, but who are we talking to?
Oh, my father.
Okay. You have your 5 questions prepared?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
which grave is his?
This big one here.
Flashback, PTSD.
Hands behind my back. I'm looking for marks on the.
Imagine if I just go. Zenevieve goes and touches.
When with my awakened mind, reach out to anybody in the party with elvish blood and just in your pockets.
Doesn't look like the stone that he bled on that opened. It just looks like a grave.
It's just a grave.
We're a theater reminding this part. I'm sorry. I should have thought.
Are you sure? I want to roll insight.
Yeah, is there any marks?
You know what? Go ahead and roll insight. Let's see if I fucked you guys over after all. Let's just go for it.
So we've been rolling so well. Oh my god.
22.
Really
Oh, wow.
18.
Everything's
Oh, wow.
normal.
Anybody else rolling, or is that it? You got everybody?
I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. All right.
With the 22, you might be outside, but you're not sure.
Yeah, 10.
Ooh.
Here, I'm gonna, because you guys are goofballs, I'm gonna fix it for you.
I'm just doing it for the views, Dane. Don't do it because I'm being weird.
Hey, we're not goofballs. We just have trust issues.
Why? Have I done something to make you guys have trust issues?
No, Aram keeps touching rocks.
Oh, that's
That's
not
what
on me. Got it. Good.
Wait a second. Maybe they're attracted to them. Remember the ceiling falling on us?
I like to rub big rocks. What?
I like to rub big rocks.
Hey, there's you.
Big hard rocks.
You do your thing. You do you, man. Just leave my bear fur alone.
Bear
I
fur, like
to
as
rub
in naked
big
fur?
rocks, and I cannot lie.
You mean, when you say bear fur, do you mean like?
Oh, you know.
Okay, as long as I'm right.
It's been a while.
Touch it.
It's been a while.
Crocodile. Okay, so yeah, you guys all look around. That 20, everything, etc. You are fine. There's no crazy stuff going on. It is literally just a cemetery. Oh, I do have more. Okay.
Genevieve, you want to kind of like keep a lookout since we're not technically supposed to be doing this?
Yeah, Genevieve will keep watch. She's like scouting a little bit.
And I point a finger and use my message on a bitch slap. And I was like, "Will you help dig this for me, please?" So she hears it echoing in her head.
I'll dig.
Yar.
Yar.
That's why I'm here.
Gonna do what I did last time with digging a hole, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mix it up a little bit though. I'm gonna wait. Hold on. Maybe I'm not gonna mix it up.
You got a mole form in there, or?
No, but I do have a new shape. Give me just 1 second. I want to make sure.
Something that can dig.
Maybe, right?
Yes, I am gonna use the new shape. It's very similar to the brown bear. I'm gonna shape into a polar bear to assist with.
Do they have super digging skills or something?
No, they're exactly the same as a brown bear, just with a little more health in case something happens. And I think a higher AC, but.
There you go, guys. Happy?
Whoa.
Fantastic.
That better for you?
Yeah.
Fantastical.
Main cemetery lit up, pretty nice.
Whoa.
Giant mausoleum in the middle.
Is he the big one, or is he somewhere else?
He is the big one. In the center.
So he's not even buried then.
No, he is. It's the mausoleum stands above it stands above their graves. There's 6 graves underneath it, and then there's almost like a chilling area in this large 15-foot by 10-foot room that has benches in it and has chalkboard. It has a couple other things. It's currently locked, but he has a key as the son. So Morty goes in and unlocks it and opens it, and you see that they've literally buried 3 on each side, and they're 6 feet under from inside here. It's almost like they didn't want the weather to touch the top of where they're even buried, so they built a structure over their burial plots.
Okay, so having changed things on us, is it plausible for me to be in there as a bear assisting with digging with my giant paws while somebody else is in there with the shovel?
Yep, because it's 10 by 15 and you're 10 by 10, so there's room for 2 other people to be in there, but only one of them would have a shovel anyway, and that would work.
Okay, just dig it up.
So you could be like, you basically be like right in here digging.
Yes, and that's me.
And then it's left in
Dig.
digging.
With Morty's guidance to make sure we're digging up the correct grave.
Let's go with athletics. Lobola, you can't go in there. You can go here.
13 on my athletics.
I mean, you're doing fine.
Odd question for Morty.
Mm-hmm.
How did his father end up with the biggest grave in the town graveyard?
Oh, my family actually was around a long time. We have been in the funeral business for a long time as well. And because of that, and because we actually owned the graveyard initially, uh, when we did sell it, he left in the contract that my family would get this large plot in the center as essentially recompense for having sold it, and also because of all the work that my family's put in. We're the third generation of morticians to work out of here.
I see. Okay.
So,
It's a strong mortician line.
There's money in it, believe it or not. I just am not passionate about it. I am very, very passionate and curious about death, but I don't see people die. I just see bodies. I don't experience life to even understand death because I'm always in a 15 or 10 foot by 10 foot whatever room, stuffing people full of chemicals and pulling out stuff that's going bad, or cleaning up faces, putting makeup on people who are uglier than hell in life. And now I'm sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh no, please continue. Oh no.
Well, it's very nice of you, Lobola. I can see why your friends think you're the best and why you're obviously the leader of this group.
It's my great eyebrows.
I'm just gonna let out a big bear scoff. Just
How does a polar bear make a scoff? Actually, I think if you watch Cocaine Bear, you'll be able to tell because they make there's pretty good noises in that one.
It's about like that.
The movie was awful, but I'll watch it every day for the rest of my life. Not really. Okay, cool. So eventually, you guys are able to dig up the grave, and he pops open, and inside is a humanoid skeleton.
I'm gonna step out of the mausoleum, but stay in polar bear form so that Lobolo can get in and do his thing.
Okay.
Can everybody? Can only the people in the mausoleum see that it's a human skeleton?
Yeah, I mean, so think of this as like a standing up structure with the all three on each side. They kick off in lines from underneath, like to start basically where Morty is, and then they go out, not that way. Sorry, they go out this way from there. So like this they're buried in underneath the ground. So like you've now dug up the spot, like not where Morty is, but the spot beneath where Bitch Slap is. You've dug that up and unearthed the grave, and you had to dig underneath the building itself for half of it to get to the rest of it.
I have a mechanics question for that speak to the dead spell. Does it have to be Lobolo that asks the question, or can anybody ask it while the spell is running?
I think it's anybody because the dead don't really care. They know they're a bit been woke, and they got questions coming at them. So I'm open to anybody unless you guys want to argue about it, and then I'm open to the other way as well. But I think
I was just wondering if there was anything on the literature before we proceed. I mean, I'm a bear. I can't speak English, and I'm pretty sure the dead would need it to be audible,
right,
for my questions to be valid at least.
Right, they don't have a mind. Their soul's not back. But yeah, I would say that whoever can ask a question answered around an awakened individual is all it takes, and and you can do that whenever you're ready, Lobolo.
All right.
I would wager that Lobolo is in charge of the spell. So whoever Lobolo deems worthy to ask the question and get an answer. But that's just my thoughts on the spell.
Yeah, I think it's fine either way.
Kind of way I see it. Yeah, either way, it's fine by me. The way I imagine it is, I've got my hand, I'm doing the tum-tum.
Nope, I'm wrong. It's questions you pose. It says you. So Kelly, Lobolo has to ask them.
Okay. All right. Well, I put my hands on there. I'm like, come over here, Morty.
You go in there and
Here we
start
go.
stroking the bones?
That's right. Playing the drums and playing the bones.
Okay.
Bass and treble. All right.
Little deer pulled skin over for a drum, and then some bones. You're like
Right.
into them.
And
Okay.
make a nice across the teeth.
Oh.
And then
Chips a tooth. Dang it. Only
poor
there's
guy
a dentist
staring at
in
me.
town.
Poor guy staring at me having fun with his dead father's corpse. Yeah.
I'm,
All right.
I'm still questioning that, but okay.
Okay,
All right.
so the dead guy, his I don't know, he's a skeleton. So you can't see his eyes open, but his head turns towards you.
All right. So I look at Morty. I'm like, go ahead, ask me your questions, Morty.
Why didn't you tell me I was adopted?
That answers my question.
I'm sitting there tum-tumming, and I let out a laugh, but I don't want it to be rude, so I'm all make it part of the song. And so I asked the corpse, I was like, Morty's father, why didn't you tell him he was adopted?
There's a silence for a little while as the skeleton maybe thinks about it and maybe doesn't have an answer, but eventually the skeleton will say, because he was never adopted in my eyes.
Right. So and of course Morty can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, all right, Morty, good answer right there. What else do you have to ask him?
Where's the deed to the mortuary?
And so I speak to the corpse. I'm like, where's the deed to the mortuary?
And he'll say it is locked away in the bank in Summerside.
So I look up at Morty, all like happy for him that he's getting moving along in life. All right, I was like, what's your third question, Morty?
Did you kill Mother?
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
This got squishy quick. So I look at the corpse. I was like, did you kill Morty's mother? Oh, shit. Fouled that up. Oh, well.
Not directly.
Not directly. All right. So look at Morty to get a sense of the situation. All right. What's your fourth question, Morty?
Are you burning in hell?
Ooh, wow. So I look at the corpse, keep coming away. I'm all like, so are you currently burning in hell?
I don't know.
I'm going to look up at Morty. He doesn't know. Got one
Morty
more question, buddy.
Morty looks confused, disgusted, and a little taken aback, and he says, I don't have any more questions. I didn't expect him to even like me at all. The way he treated me when he was alive, he's like breaking down. He's like, excuse me. And he twists out to the side and goes off, steps out, and then goes over this way a ways to be by himself and in his thoughts.
All right. I look at Bitch Slap, and I was like, will you go out and ask anybody if they have any questions for Morty's father?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for Morty's father?
The skeleton says, I do not. And he goes silent.
That's great.
Straight off the trailer for the D&D movie.
Yeah, right. I'm here for it.
That's honestly hilarious.
Well, I unhand the corpse, put him back in a resting good position, or help him rest better. And then I guess I help Bitch Slap or re-put the dirt, rebury him.
Huh?
I'm just kicking it and pushing it. That's all I'm doing.
I'm gonna walk over to Morty and give him a bear nuzzle, like a comforting bear nuzzle.
A bear knuckle?
Nuzzle.
Bear knuckle.
Oh,
Like
a nuzzle.
I want you to pet him.
I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait, what? A bear knuckle?
You're gonna give him a moose knuckle, pull his pants up real tight.
Oh God, do bears have knuckles? Okay, so you right when you get there, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because, as all of you probably well know, A, I love combat, but B, Zenevie has an 18 passive perception. Zenevie, you're standing here thinking like, holy cow, a lot going on. Good thing I'm an elf. And just as you're thinking that, you see something claw its way out of the ground to the east of you guys.
No.
just a little bit to the east of you. And then you also hear a sound of a wailing specter of some sort and see something move off to the west and south as well. Ooh, you hear. And then to
Does
the
my
northwest of
advantage
you
on
guys, slightly above you, you see another creature pull itself free from its grave.
Guys, I think we have a situation here.
As you say situation, a skeleton pops up out of the grave and bangs its short sword against its shield.
Do we get
Yep.
done burying the dude?
He's not buried. He's just unburied as of current. Unless you guys said, did you say you were going to bury him again?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I missed that. So yeah, just as you're finishing or halfway or at least partially way through burying him, it is done. And now you guys can roll perception since she's pointing stuff out.
So I get advantage on smell perception. Would that apply to this situation?
No, probably not. There's a lot of.
I mean, they're dead bodies, though. So...
But you've been around dead bodies all day.
Fair enough.
Right.
Labolo,
Oh,
as you exit the mausoleum, and you look to your south, you see a floating specter to the southeast. A woman in a white light cascading off of her dress-wearing form as she floats aimlessly around the edges of the cemetery.
I call it out. Well, we got a floating ghost woman emanating light to the southeast.
You call it out. She floats this way, takes note of you, and screams.
I scream
Everybody
back.
roll initiative.
No.
Because we are
Really?
going
Oh. I'm gonna use one of my luck to re-roll that.
Yeah, initiative is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
I might as well use my inspiration to reroll mine.
Okay. Nobody's within 60 feet.
So, question there, because I'm bear form. Would my initiative be based off my bear shape or my normal shape?
I mean, bear shape, right? You were a bear when you went into combat.
Okay, I'm just checking.
That would be my guesstimation on it, right?
I mean, I'll look up some verbiage, see if there's anything different, but as far as I know, that's accurate.
So Ghoul 16 has initiative. Ghouls have a 30 feet speed. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets right up here to Morty. And attacks with his claws. Oh, wow. It misses Morty, who has basically no armor class.
Mm-hmm.
So that was impressive. And the Bolo, you're actually up.
All right. As badass as I want to be, I run over to Morty. I got 40 movement.
Make sure you go around the mausoleum rectangle.
Yeah.
He said, bah. Screw you, Dane.
I go that way. And then
Okay, that's 30.
I was going to say the last 10. And then, so I yell at Morty. I'm like, come on, Morty, in the mausoleum.
Okay. And then are you going to do anything else?
Yeah. I'm going to shoot some arrows at this ghoul over here.
The one that's on Morty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, actions, top. There we go.
Pretty decent looking little cemetery.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool.
I literally just Googled it real quick and stole it from Incarnate. So
that reminded me to tell you about this map thing I found later after we're done.
What's it called?
So it's like something almost like legendary AI maps or something like that, and it'll generate a map for you, and you just tell it what you want.
I'm into that. Okay. Let's see. Looks like you hit it and did light damage to it with your first attack. Let's see your second attack, or did you do both? Oh, second.
Nope, just the first one.
Hit it again.
Ooh, nice. But Wait, I'm not supposed to pat myself on the back. Oh.
Nice work. Nice work. Good job, Pat. Pat.
Okay.
Yeah, you did good, bud. You did good.
I got you, my guy.
Tell me I'm beautiful. I run back this way for 10 feet. And then, let's see. He don't have a lot going on, so I'm gonna give Morty bardic inspiration, and in hopes that he runs away, and if he needs the roll or whatever, he can use it. And then let me see where that's at. Should be bard actions.
Okay.
Oop, not the cool. There we go. All right, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Oh, I tell him, run, buddy, run.
And let's see, I've got at least another one. Let's see. Just figured you guys might like some reference points, right?
Visual stimulation.
Yeah, a little bit. Since we're here for it, we might as well. And I got one final one, which is not super exciting, but it's here, and you guys have seen it before. El Skeletone. All right, cool. Good job, Lobolo. We're on to the ghost. And where's she at? She's right there. How close is she to you guys? Okay, so fly speed of 40 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 goes to there. And she can't see it. Let's see how far away is Lobolo. Lobolo, you're within 30 feet. So Lobolo and Aram, go ahead and give me wisdom saves.
I'm not within 30 feet.
Of the ghost?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me do a control.
Oh, wait, that's 50 feet.
Hold on.
You're within 50 feet.
Oh, her distance on it is 50? Oh, yeah.
It's her distance is 60. I don't know why. I was far away and I read 30, but it was.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
So you still.
Both wisdom save from Lobolo and from Aram.
Oh, come on.
11.
You
both fail. You're both frightened.
Oh, no. It means you can't get closer to her.
To the ghost, right.
And you get a, what is there, a -1 to what?
Yeah, I think it's a disadvantage for some. Let's see. So, frightened. DC 13, frightened for one. If the save fails by 5 or more. So let's see. That'd be Kelly. You failed by 5 or more. The target also gains, in this case, 20 years.
In life?
Yep. So you age 20 years at the horrifying visage of the ghost before you.
Ooh. So I now have sexy salt and pepper hair, huh? All right. Okay. And then also at the beginning or the end of your turn, you roll a wisdom to see if you can pop out of being scared, correct?
Correct. In this case, frightened is not always that way. The frightened with the ghost, though, if you pass the save of a DC 13 at the end of your turn, you're no longer frightened.
Okay. All right. Sorry, just reiterating.
Let's see. I want to get through this round and then we're going to call it. So let's try and be concise if we can, just so we got 7 minutes. I know Mike has early mornings now, and Katie always does.
Yeah.
And Cal always does. And Jacob does.
It's pretty simple. I'm casting a fireball.
Whoa! On where?
The ghost and the skeleton 21.
Okay.
If you would like, I will give you your circle.
No. Just target them. I mean, you can't miss both of them. They're within range of each other.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
It's all good, my dude. I just need to know where. No, not the ghosts. Successes.
Half damage.
Half is half.
And if any survived, there's another 1, 2, 3 points to add to that because I got 3 ones.
3 points. Oh, 3 ones. Okay. So the
Yeah.
skeleton, 21. 3 more points does not kill him. And the ghost doesn't get 3 full points. There we go. All right, Aram, and now you can move or you stand there.
I will back up next to here. So we're more tight knit together.
Okay. And Zenavi.
Can Zenavi see the banshee?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. How far is she?
95 feet from you.
Oh, so I can totally crossbow her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
According to the combat tracker, Zenavi's got everybody targeted.
I got it. That was from when I was clicking stuff, probably. I got it.
Yeah, it kept doing that every time I clicked myself. So Zenavi's gonna whip out her crossbow when she hears this thing scream, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to aim. Wait, no, I don't need to because she hasn't gone in combat yet.
Okay.
So I
that means it will give you advantage, though.
Well, I have advantage from assassinate.
Oh, because I haven't got shit on you. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I always forget that little function.
I hit.
Lucky. You're gonna be if you kill this banshee right now, I'm mad. Not real mad, but like at least like a little disappointed.
Well, let's put some sneak attack on and see what happens.
Okay. Okay, we're good. Half of 26. She takes 13 from your little piercer. Are you gonna move or are you staying there? Do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna like get closer to the mausoleum. That's what I'm gonna do, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Ghoul 9. Let's see, he can move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, and 60. He like runs across the grass there and along the stone wall, and then he leaps up on the edge of that stone wall and just stands there on his feet, like hunch over and do the weird creepy stuff. Totally does that, and his big old long ghoul tongue slashes around as he snarls at you and breathes in your living energies, thinking about, God damn, you're gonna taste good. Balar.
Would I get flanking advantage if I was across from Morty, or no? Because he's not, like, he's friendly, but he's not part of the party.
I mean, Morty doesn't have a weapon out, so he's not attacking.
So I'm just gonna move to there then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead after goal 16 here. Start with claws.
I'll hit. Okay, he's heavy damage.
And we'll follow through with the bite.
Hit. Hey, he's in critical condition.
And that'll be it for my turn.
Skeleton 19 is going to move forward and up to here. Can't do any attacks, though, because he moved too much. Bitch slap.
All right. Now we better get out of the mausoleum.
You don't want to hang out and hide in there?
Just step right out here and look around. Get some rage going after I see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
There. 5, 10, 15. Roll a wisdom save for me there, bitch slap, whenever you want to.
Oh, was I supposed to do a wisdom save at the end of my turn? Did you
Yeah,
say
do
something
that
about
for you too, because you might not be frightened anymore.
Hey, I'm rolling again.
Hey, who's immune?
That's all I needed was combat. Okay,
You're like, I'm not really for negotiations unless it's with blades.
that's right. All right, so I think this ghoul that's standing on top of the wall there, I think
Pissing
he
in.
gets a spear.
Ooh, fancy.
That's right. Oh, we'll try again.
I really like that you guys used all your inspirations up to find out about the dagger board.
That hits, I think.
Yep, 23 definitely waxing good.
Okay, cool. Or a little bit of. Hey,
Max damage.
there we go. That'll be it.
Skeleton 21. Boop. He charges it forward far as he can go. Shambles and cracks up to you guys. Okay, we're on the Banshee. She gonna move here. Everybody's within range of her now. She is going to wail. Everybody roll a. Actually, I'm just gonna roll it because it'll do the half damage and stuff for me. So, oh god. Okay. You guys are mad at me. Genevieve succeeded. Morty succeeded. Balar failed. Bitch Slap failed. Abraham succeeded. And Labolo failed. You all take 3d6 damage, which is. You all take the damage, so everybody takes 10 damage. However, the hardest part about the wail is this. The Banshee releases a mournful wail, providing that she isn't in sunlight. The wail has no effect on constructs and undead. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her must make a DC 13 saving throw. On a failure, which 3 of you failed, a creature drops to 0 hit points.
Oh no.
On a success, they take 3d6 damage. So that means Labolo and Bitch Slap and Balar all go to 0.
So my question there, with being in wild shape,
about to address that as we speak. I would say your bear would fall to 0 hit points.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. So let me remove this. Because you would fall to 0. Because I mean that's how that spell is, like shapeshift is worded that way, to where if you fall to 0 hit points, you revert back. So like it's not gonna like take you to 0 2 times. And then Bitch Slap. Did I already do you, Bitch Slap? You're at 0. Balar's not because of his cheating, and Labolo. There he is, 106. All right, and then it is Morty's turn. He is going to disengage and run this way. And he sees the ghoul, and he started to run that way, and he cuts right. Oh god, a ghoul! And that is the end of this round. It is 11:02, so we will have to pick this up next Wednesday on A Case of the Wednesdays when we get real ghouly with it. Oh, sorry. Good game, guys. Proud of y'all. Assembly, make notes that next week we're going to start off in the cemetery with Morty, the Banshee, some ghouls, some skeletons. Yeah, anybody else have notes for Assembly? Okay. I got to get better at figuring out when a good time to say notes are, because I have the AI there to take notes. I might as well use it, but like have to think about when we want them. Anyway, good game, guys, so far. Hope you had fun. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. Make sure you follow and subscribe if you haven't followed and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with Lord Z's Fantastical Dungeon on Friday night with a different bit of a different cast, some of the same, some other ones, and Jacob will be running that, and then obviously a Streamline on Sunday. Come and check us out. It's 9 o'clock for both of those EST.